Hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to Harmony Portal Tarot live. How's it going, everybody? Looks like Linda had left a comment earlier. Hello, Linda. And just because of the state of my health slash voice slash whatever, I put us down for 5 spots potentially tonight, just so I don't overdo it. But wow. We have a lot to talk about either between tonight and Friday, or I don't know. I don't know if I'm too willing to go down that rabbit hole because this whole last week and a half, 2 weeks, however long it's been, has just been one long, big psychic attack. I don't know how much I want to say right now, just for, that fear of retribution for further psychic attack, I guess. Yeah, so I don't know. How have you guys been? How's your health been? How's your state of mind been? How's life? I wanna know how you guys are doing. Man, I could write a book with just this last 2 weeks. Uh, how is everybody? Well, it's so weird because, I've been sick before, obviously. We've all been sick before, but never have I been reached out to by so many people via email, via text, via however it is people can get a hold of me. Got a hold of me, just like, are you gonna be live tonight? Like, not even saying why or what, but just like wondering if I'm gonna be live. It was so interesting. Yeah, it's so interesting how that is. I don't know if people were just really needing readings, or I don't know. It's so weird. And excuse me for those of you especially that are wearing headphones with the coughing. Still fighting for my voice. So yeah. All right. Hi, Banana Anna S. Yeah, it says we have 5 people here. Tanisia's here. Hello. So yeah. And I don't know, especially those of you that have been around my most recent live streams where I had these big epiphanies. Not that I really went into depth with a lot of what I was having downloads, or not even downloads, because to me, downloads come from somewhere out there. This came from within. And so much of what I was doing was just like inner, I don't know, like the proper term, because it's not even meditation. Because to me, meditation is such a mental process. I don't know. Anyone else just constantly focused in the mind, focused on the pineal gland, the crown, the swirls that you see behind your eyes when you're meditating. Like, to me, it's such a cerebral experience. Not all the time. But what I've been doing instead of that, leading up to this illness, didn't do a lot of it during the illness because, illness, just trying to keep my head above water. But so much of what I was doing instead was, going down more into the womb space, the womb portal. That's the biggest portal I know of, where spirits actually come into this realm through the wormhole, womb portal. I swear I can talk. I'm gonna be all over the place today. I'm just warning you guys in advance. Anyway, so I'm just kind of hanging out in the womb portal, doing what I would consider more like a shamanic journey, like just journey into the darkness. Like, not darkness as in bad, but darkness as in like the void, the womb space, the cocoon of life. I don't know what you want to call it. But so many just deep knowings and realizations. And again, like realization, that's all sounds so cerebral, so mental, so in your head. What I went into the, I don't know, we want to call it the underworld, shamanic journey into the void. I've just gotten so many just deep knowings that, just to call them realizations or wisdom or knowledge, like it sounds almost like you're dirtying it up, because that's not what this is. But that's kind of maybe how we process what these things are. And you guys are probably so confused, but just major deep knowings about the workings of this matrix system, and not so much what it was put over to kind of leech off of, but just that deep knowing that it is, that it's there. Um, but so much about just the nature of reality and the amount of synchronicities and symbols and how everything is connected, and even just tuning into a even more accurate to, if you know your actual birth time, if you do more like a Hellenistic or Babylonian birth chart on yourself with using that sidereal system of more Babylonian astrology, which is, more ancient than, a lot of astrology. But I think one of the biggest ways that they put us off to make us think, oh yeah, I have free will, is for people to follow Western astrology, because it's taking that snapshot of the sky 2,000 years ago and trying to apply it to your life. So yes, a lot of it still works because, your aspects are still there, your squares, your sextiles, your oppositions. And then of course, sometimes if you are someone who would have the same sidereal placement and Western placement, you can get away with it that way. To where, yes, a lot of what's said in your birth chart does apply, obviously. But the more close to actual location of the planets, the moment of your birth, the more you just start to realize there is no free will. Like, or I won't say there's no free will, but it's dialed down to probably less than, like, I don't know, 5% or something. I did this redrawing up of my chart using Babylonian astrology, which is still a sidereal astrology, but because I was a less than 1 degree Libra ascendant and a less than 1 degree into Pisces Venus placement, when I actually ran my chart under that Babylonian way of being, which would be your Fagan Brady. Let's see, Fagan Brady. If you just go like to AstroSeek, and then you go to free horoscopes or what have you. If you use the Ionamsha for the sidereal chart, Fagan Bradley, not Brady, Bradley. And then you use the equal house Velo system, and then use your, of course, birth details. That will get you probably as close as we're going to get in this realm. And to test it out, I also set my Vedic system here, which I can't remember what Ayanamshi I was using before. It was the Lahira. Oh my gosh. Sorry, you guys. I'm butchering all these names. Let me find it. Lahire. Lahiri. That's what I was always told to use. Not like someone came out of the woodwork and told me, but that's what I used, because that was based on like when I first learned Vedic astrology / sidereal astrology. That's what Kapiel Raj uses. That's what Joni Patreon, all these people on YouTube use. So I thought, oh, well, this is the creme de la creme, like the most accurate you're going to get. No, there's something even more accurate. And even then, it's only a few degrees off. But again, because I was a less than 0 degree Libra ascendant, less than 0 degree Pisces Venus, when I ran my chart under this new the older system, with the proper details, all my houses moved except Venus stayed in the same house but moved back a sign. I'm in this regard a Virgo ascendant. So Virgo ascendant ruled by Mercury, and still a Gemini moon ruled by Mercury. Makes a lot of sense. But my Venus is no longer in Pisces. It's now 29 degree point in 36 minutes of Aquarius, which now bumps the moon out of my top spot for being the Atmakarka of the chart, which changes everything. And yes, the moon made a lot of sense as the Atmakarka for my chart, but when I tell you guys, when you go into Parashara's light, it's the Vedic birth chart system that I use, or software, I should say. And you do the Varshafala interpretation. You go down to your dasha interpretations in that, and then you put. And I find this is kind of the sadistic thing of this matrix. I find that if you put the just most horrible days of your life into this and you plug it in, you can find that information. But both days that my kids were born, the day I got married, these really good, happy days of my life were not calculated in this. So yes, maybe there's an element of free will when good things happen, but when bad things happen, crickets. Like it just happens. So before, when I would go back to the date using my Libra ascendant to start the whole house chart and everything, it was about 2 weeks off of the date that my house burned down when I was 13 years old. And then another date I would look up was when, I cut the tip of my finger off here when I was 14, a year and 6 days after my house burned down, a year and 6 days later, the finger gets cut off. So I will show you guys, just so you understand what I'm talking about here, how absolutely calculated this is. So yeah, like I was saying, those dates. So August 14th is the day that the house burned down in 1995. When I don't know why I'm getting an ad. It says it's running an ad, but it said it ran an ad a few minutes ago. So if you guys are getting ad, I told them not to run ads on here tonight, but probably a form of being targeted. Sorry, I'm getting to the point, guys. I'm just trying to show you guys how a lot of what happens to you, and you think, oh, well, we're learning lessons from this, or, oh, that was my fault, or, blaming others for these big, horrible things in your life that they did or didn't do. A lot of this is just so out of our control, you guys, that if we can just realize that, we're going to be a lot happier as far as our just, state of mind and all of this. Okay, so I don't know why the other one isn't showing up. I know where it is. I can find it. Okay. So before, this was putting us more into like September based on my old birth details. Well, there's the same exact birth details, but just the different system. But when you run the Varshafala Dasha interpretation through the system, August 14th, 1995, the date that my house burned down when I was 13 years old. Okay, so we are in the Mars Dasha. This is that Varshafala I was showing you. So Mars Dasha, it's telling you this is the dates, the 24th of July through August 14th of 95. So let me just show you. So that third little tick mark down here, you may be burnt, or there may be loss from fire. Is that one? Oh, injury may be caused by weapons, loss of vehicles and wealth. Your house may be burned, and there may be losses from land. So no matter what, I wasn't getting out of this horrible time. But this is now using these birth details, or this Fagan-Bradley system. It's now pointing to the exact time that happened, not 2 weeks after. Same for when this happened. I even calculated like the death of like grandparents, my best friend, all of these things, loss of family members, loss of loved ones, shows up in that Varshafala Dasha printout or report. It just makes me so mad. It just makes me so mad that this can be so accurate. And the only way this can be so accurate is because we don't have as much free will as we've been told. That being said, yes, we still have that fractal of our spirit that's here. But the more that we tune into that, the more we can shake up that other 95% of what's just, and this is the thing. Even our like motivations, our desires, like these types of things are all in the code as well. And by the code, I mean, the stars, where you were when you incarnated, because they can't deny souls coming in, but they can sure trap them once they get in here, however that is. But that fractal of pure sovereignty is still in there. And this is the point of what I'm trying to make here is, yes, maybe everything is so, simulated and controlled and just down to the minute of when you're going to die or when this is going to happen or when that horrible thing is going to happen. Um, but the more we can tune into that true spirit part of us and bring that knowledge, wisdom, that knowing through, the better off we're going to be with fighting some of this, external simulation stuff. And I had that huge epiphany, and I was going to come on here and shout from the rooftops. And there's something I want to say, and I'm not going to say it now. I'm probably not going to say it Friday. When I feel like I'm out of the woods of this illness, I might say it then. I may never say it. I don't know. It's just, I know that just me having the thought, using my own brain, not having all these entity interference or frequency interference to have the thought for me, but me actually forming the thought, I'm going to tell everybody this, was what took me out. And it took me out for a while now. It's been the worst. And I had COVID in early 2020 through April, kind of end of April of 2020. I had COVID, had this other thing, had a flu, had another COVID. Like, I had just 4 months of bombardment. And even though that was hard and rough, yes, that was horrible. The worst I've ever felt in my whole life. This was worse because I started this whole trajectory out with like a days and days and days worth of migraine. And then came on Boston's birthday last Monday, the 4th. Well, last Monday, so 2 Mondays ago now on the 4th. We went out to dinner and I just was really feeling off. I just had this bone deep ache, bone deep pain that just, I couldn't shake it. And there was nothing I did that would warrant that bone deep pain. And that bone deep pain just completely transformed into the most physical pain I think I've ever been in. Yes, I've been in physical pain before. Obviously, I've had this. I had my wisdom teeth out, giving birth to 2 babies, all this fun stuff. But the fact that I had the migraine with the just every joint and bone. I want to say joint, bone and joint, bone, joint. I tried to say bone and joint at the same time. Just everything ached, but not just this like ache, but this was like just this deep throbbing pain. And then on top of that, then started in this really horrible sinus pressure that literally felt like my head was in a vice from front to back, side to side. Never felt anything like it in my life. So much so that I could hear frequencies. And that is nothing new under the sun. They're trying to run another ad. I'm going to skip ads. I'm just going to keep skipping ads so you guys don't have to be taken away. But it wasn't just this like humming, ringing in your ear kind of frequency. It was like not musical, but like different wavelengths and like layered sounds, layered frequencies. And I know I sound crazy when I say all this stuff, you guys, and I swear to God, I'm not crazy. They do say that crazy people don't ever question if they're crazy, but I felt crazy, let's put it that way. But the thing is, before I started having all this, I was getting, all those downloads. I took so many notes in my journal. I was getting all these, for lack of a better word, downloads for my book series and the kind of prequel book that's not coming out before the series. It's going to come out during the series, because what happens in the prequel book, or Project Cult as I'll call it, it's set the earliest of all the books I'm trying to put out there. But I knew this had to happen, they had to have this character, that character, this, that, and everything. But everything, maybe not everything, but so much of the story and why do I even need to tell this story? The whole thing just clicked into place, fell into place. It strengthened the storyline of the main series that I've got going on and actually answers so many questions that I didn't even know the answers to. So many crazy things with this book series and then the spin-off books. At this point, I would even call that kind of prequel / Project Cult book not even a spin-off that is just like external. It is, it's on its own timeline with just a few characters from the main book, or is it? Um, but told out of nonlinear time. Um, oh gosh, I just it's so crazy how how all of this came together. But I'm just writing out all of these downloads and downloads and downloads of what needs to happen in this book, and I'm being like targeted and attacked. And um, I did a whole bunch of research into like Greek mythology, and um, that led me like what I was studying or looking into for the book series was exactly what I needed to know about like the construction of the matrix and all of this crazy stuff. Yeah, dreams are off the chain right now, you guys. The psychic attack and frequency attack, WEAPONs, um, people being just targeted, like this whole thing is off the mother effing chain right now. I'm not the only one. I even put in the description below. It's interesting because I actually found this right before, and it wasn't even like I'm just going to my homepage to find something to listen to while I'm like cleaning this area and getting my stuff ready, and it's exactly the guys are talking about illness and injury being used by targeted individuals, weapons, targeted weapons, all these fun things. Just happened to be what was on my homepage, just shown to me um, as I'm getting ready for this live stream. So I did link that in there. These guys, they go way off and way out. So buckle up. uh, but yes, they're not lying. They are telling the truth. This is exactly what's going on with so many people, and especially those that you have. And every single time I've had a big epiphany, huge breakthrough. Again, that sounds so mental, but this to me, especially this next level of awakening, and I kind of hate that word now, like awakening. Like, are we ever gonna have to stop waking up? Like, you just keep waking up to deeper layers of this thing. Like, it's so layered, so multifaceted, so much deeper of a rabbit hole than you could imagine. Um, I don't even know. Like I could talk for probably 48 days on everything that's come through to me just in this last like week and a half, 2 weeks. But again, there's certain things I'm just for my own literal health and safety, I can't say them. And I know that sounds like clickbait and like random crazy person on the internet that's like looking for clout. Like that's so not where I'm going with this, you guys. Yes, the energy is crazy. This being said, I think no part of me knows. I know the reason they are fighting so hard. Yeah, Kalite is getting the psychic attack. Yeah, cray cray energy. The reason they're working overtime right now on all of this is because something has shifted with this control grid, this matrix system, whatever we want to call it. Some of the control that they once had is now not under their control. I don't know exactly what facet. I mean, I do, but as far as me being able to just spill it out there right now, I kind of would like to be able to sleep tonight as far as not being attacked. Yeah, because at one point, it's trying to run another ad. Are you kidding me? Stop. This is how this works. You're not running an ad on my live stream. No, thank you. Goodbye. I had it set no ads. You shouldn't be getting ads because it's at least giving me the ability to cancel or skip. So that, thank goodness. I know Amber 9 In was on here just getting ad after ad after ad, and no one else was getting it. So I don't understand. Yeah, they are attacking the stream because they wouldn't be working so hard if certain truths weren't coming through. But I don't know. I know most of us have had colds bad enough in our time that you can either breathe out of one nostril or another, or maybe neither. That happened to me earlier last week. Well, early to mid last week. I didn't sleep Tuesday night at all. Like I tried and tried and tried. I'm not someone who can breathe out of my mouth like while I sleep, especially like if I had to, like during the day, if I had to, I'm there, I'm conscious, I can hack it, so to speak. But I couldn't breathe out of either nostril, and then I would just start to panic. Like I haven't had panic that just visceral in so long in my body, and it was so just absolutely horrible. Like, I felt like I needed to get out of my body, but I couldn't, and I just wanted to because it was so crazy, and being up, for so long, from Monday all the way through Wednesday, um, then I start getting these weird frequencies going on, and these, like, unaliving myself type of thoughts that I know are not mine, and I'm just sitting there observing them like, "Huh, okay, that's cool. You got that going for you." Like, you're trying so hard, but I'm so aware of what's going on. This is just laughable. Even though I was, like, in panic mode because I couldn't breathe and I was so tired and I couldn't sleep, but I could still see what was going on. like it was just plain as day. Like, just what the heck? Um, this is the thing, something that I've really tuned into lately, that I feel like the moon has lost the plot. The moon has lost the grip on a lot of things. Specifically, they say the moon controls the tides. Well, the tides, as far as I know, I'm nowhere near an ocean, but I'm pretty sure that the tides are still going. Um, People may still be acting a fool around these eclipses and full moons, new moons, all this fun stuff, because there's this, generations long programming by the moon that people are still kind of under the, I guess, hypnosis of. There's still a lot of people doing their moon worship and, you know, checking in with the moon every time they want to do any little thing. The best, I guess, advice that I would have for anybody is just to completely ignore the moon. Unless it's the moon sign in your birth chart, you can look to that, because that's going to be where you're really heavily attacked in your emotions and that type of stuff. But as far as trying to see what phase the moon is in, or where's the next eclipse, I would just instead put all of that energy and power into tuning into your true spirit. That's my best advice. But Pika Lee, you make a good point that I think a lot of people are just unconsciously still tied to the moon. There was that, and Ola Wolny, and it's so weird. It's so weird because I actually came across Ola Wolny's. She doesn't have a YouTube channel herself, but she's on all these different people's channel, because that's my main character's last name is Wolny, which means free man, free person. And I came across her stuff, and she's talking about the Revelation 12 sign that was, in the sky on September 23rd of 2017, where it talks of the Virgin, Virgo, being pregnant with Jupiter, giving birth with a crown of stars, Leo, at her head and the moon at her feet. The fact that the moon is at her feet means the moon being, having its control or hold over this matrix system, or even the reincarnation trap, it being the light that you see when you die. Don't go to the light, go within, go to the underground. Why do you think they program us to be afraid of hell and the underworld and all of this? Because it's the void, it's the womb, it's the point of infinite creation. A lot of myths about going to the underworld and rescuing a man, or a man going to rescue men, by virtue of having no womb space. That's not a man's domain, that's a woman's domain. And just the fact of the patriarchy, and the fact that women are the way in here and most likely the way out of here. But they don't want any of us looking in the direction of women being the ones to help save themselves and everybody else. We need the man to do that. We need the hero. But that being said, we've all been a man, we've all been a woman. If you've been incarnated once or twice more, you've most likely been both. Skip ad. I'm not doing this. Why do they keep doing this? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I know I'm onto something when they pop that back up. Like, ooh, let's distract. And that's something that kept happening too when I'm trying to write down all these things that are coming through just for my own journaling benefit, for understanding this reality we live in, and also my book ideas and book stuff. Just distracted, and they would really work through my dogs, through my kids, through this really loud airplane that went over my house, just doing everything they can to distract. So much going on, you guys. I can't even begin. It's very, let me just put it this way. For days and days and days there, I was just so like depressed. Like, what's even the point of fighting or trying? Like, I just want to give up. But then getting back into that observer mode, those were not even my thoughts. Again, duped by the Matrix. Not even my thoughts. My true spirit's just sitting there like, this is cute. I can't breathe tonight. Oh, that's cute. Oh, you're distracting her from, these book notes and all this other stuff. Oh, that's so cute. Not really, but we'll just pretend it's really cute. Yes, no one can relate to. Okay, I'm so glad. See, yes, I know I sound crazy, and some random person that's gonna struggle, probably are struggling out there, stumble across this video, be like, this girl is on drugs. She's on crack. She's lost the plot. Something's going on here. I don't care anymore. I really don't. I really don't. I really don't. You either or you don't, and ignorance at this point in the game is not bliss anymore. But again, like I said, I thought I thought, like, why bother? Why even try? So much going on. There's so much being unveiled, revealed. Okay, so I'm literally in like hyper detective mode right now, that even the fact of like the mainstream news that somehow finds me. It somehow finds me. I mean, granted, I've had a lot of time to lay in bed and be on YouTube and just scroll around and listen to the most random of things while doing Sudoku and reading doing other things. Just the fact that this Princess Kate stuff, anyone heard? People are like speculating she's dead. People are speculating, I guess she went in for surgery, and I do not follow the royals at all. But somehow, some way, since 2024 kicked off, this royal news of King whatever getting cancer, or Prince William having an affair, and like all this stuff is finding me, and I don't want it. I don't care. I do not care. I do not care. Same with all these celebrities. The only real celebrities I care about at all is just 21 Pilots. And just for the fact that I like their music, I like the lore that they put out and effort they put in. I could cross paths with any random celebrity on the street. I do not care. Do not care. Never really have, but especially now more than ever, I don't care. But the weird thing is, even your average person is questioning like the photo that was put up for Princess Kate with her 3 kids. Everyone's like, it's AI. Like, people are like dissecting the photo. Like, the kid, I think it's a younger son, maybe it's the older one of them, has like a second row of teeth, but like on the bottom. Like, what is he, a shark? That's the only animal I know that has like a second row of teeth on the bottom. Like, why? What is happening? Let me just tell you, the Matrix, the glitches in the Matrix are off the chain. So the more you just take everything that happens, everything random people say, everything that crosses your news feed or your subscription feed or your homepage, things people say at work, take everything as a sign. And then, I was down all these rabbit holes with like gematria and Chaldean, like decoding through numerology. Like, I was in the rabbit hole trenches. Oh my God, I went down the lore based on your last life. Oh, that's so cool. What you said earlier about the womb space spoke to me. I think it goes hand in hand with what I wrote in my donation. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to hear what you wrote. You're over the target with your knowings, right? Right. She got too much truth too fast. It's just telling all the people something. Yeah. But anyway, Oh, how the eclipse is heavily commercialized is some rare. Oh, and the funny thing is, or maybe it's not so funny, is that this is the second Great American Eclipse. So it's, we had an eclipse pass one way, we're having an eclipse pass, and X marks the spot. And of course, it's been like almost 7 years since that first Great American Eclipse that kicked this off. That was the sign, like around the same time as the sign in the sky, Revelation 12 sign. Yeah, it's an X. It creates an X. Yeah. But what's said, and again, I'm not religious, but I got chills. Ooh. Oh God, the chills were off the chain with the whole illness thing, but those were not good chills. They were just constant or near constant. Holy chills. But anyway, do not try to give me more ads. Stop it with that. Okay, skipping ads again. Why? What the heck? Anyway, back to not distracting. You're trying to distract me, aren't you, ads? Okay, it worked, but now we're back on track. So I cannot remember the exact date of that first Great American Eclipse. I want to say it was either August or September of, it was in 2017. But 7 years between that last eclipse and this marks the 7 years of tribulation they talk about in Revelation. And it has been. You look back over these last 7 years, crap that you would never expect to happen, or you're like, that'll never happen, that's too out there, has happened. Would anyone in your life think that we would have a 2-week to slow the curve lockdown that would last years for some people? Would anyone have ever thought? I sure wouldn't have. That was not on my bingo card, as they say. That was not on my bingo card. Yeah, too high vibration for the internet, right? I think we've all been there. I mean, that it's not hard to do. The internet is a pretty crazy place, man. But yes, there's so much going on, and with the eyes to see, the ears to hear, and just that inner knowing, just literally tuning into your true spirit is like a coat of arms or like a protection. And at the same time, it will help steer you to the truth, because since I really doubled, tripled, quadrupled, quintupled down on my day-to-day spiritual connection to my own inner self, and just shut out all the noise of, all these gurus and ascended masters and spirit guides, I have gotten pure and untainted truth with a capital T in ways that I could have never, tuning into all of these ascended masters, gurus, just had me running in circles. And another thing I tuned into is, especially in like the new age community, a lot of spiritual circles. And yes, to a point, healing is needed. Absolutely. But how many, raise your hand, how many of you out there have gotten lost in the dark night of the soul of just trying to heal every little thing, or digging deeper, deeper, deeper to heal deeper layers of this or that, or you thought you healed and now more's coming up to heal? Anyone else? I sure have. And it sounds or seems like no matter how much healing you do, there's just more. And not even just from this little life here. No, sirree Bob. From every life you've ever lived. Just pile it on, pile it on. We could just spend the rest of this incarnation and all the rest healing from things, as we can see from our birth charts, that we may, all this supposed karma, I call BS. I'm calling BS because if this stuff is programmed into us, and this is something that occurred to me as a knowing as well. I've never killed anybody, not in this life, not in any other past life, not even as I was in war and I did this and I did that. And yeah, I've seen a past life where I was a soldier and I killed someone, but that was a program within a program. It wasn't even real. So much of, even what we think, like just looking at our charts and stuff, I'm looking here because my chart's up over here, from past life, is just us programmed into feeling guilt and remorse, or all these horrible feelings for things we've never even done. And here's one big knowing or download about how I know karma isn't the way they tell us it is anyway in this realm, is how can all of these evil doers keep doing the evil doings and making more money and expanding their empires even bigger, but yet any one of us that tries to do the right thing, we can barely get ahead. Like how is that balanced? How is that karmic? I can see where things do balance out to a point. Yes, I can. I can subscribe to that to a point. But after that point, it goes completely off the rails so far the other way that it's almost comical. The fact that anyone can even say that we have karma on this planet and mean it without laughing their head off because it's a joke. It's a joke. Not, by the way, giving anyone a free pass to go commit crimes. In fact, I would say do the opposite. Just be the most pure, amazing, spirit-led person you can be. That's the best way to move forward as much as you can. You know, karma or not, still do the right thing. You know, because you're the one that has to live with whatever, you know. But I've never had like this urge that a lot of people talk about, like, oh, I just wanted to like, you know, hurt him or do this or do that. Like, I don't get that. So when people say that, like, you know, I used to watch a lot of true crime stuff. It's like, it just, the moment overtook me. Like, I don't understand. But then to a point I kind of do, because, you know, people can get taken over by entities. But what I'm tuning into, and that deep knowing that I've tuned into this last week or two, is the fact that a true spirit could never, yes, we've all been there where we said something we didn't mean, or we've hurt people in these ways, but as far as like physically hurting someone, it's not the true spirit coming through to do that. It's entities working through these people. And what you want is to become the least hijackable version of yourself that you can. Oh, skip ads. Here we go. I must be onto something yet again. I wonder, let's time these. Are these like contractions? Can we time these things? Okay, so we're at 6:42. Okay, I just skipped ads. Let's just see if there's a method to this madness, or if it's just random. 6:42. First contraction that we're timing here. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? What is actual reality these days? I don't even know. And sorry for those of you just joining us wondering what the heck I'm on about. I really am. I do feel sorry for you, because where do I even start? I didn't even know how to start this live stream. I don't even know how much more to say before we just do our one card pull and get into our donations. I'm going to find ways between now and whenever, the next however many live streams, to just trickle things in as I can. To kind of test the system, just so I don't want to be attacked again, because good God, that was not a fun time. I'm still not 100%. And I still, it's weird because I still feel this like heavy trash bag of just etheric weight over me, even though mostly I feel okay. It's just mostly feeling too lethargic to really get a lot done, or I mean, I will show you what a machine I am as far as like my daily steps and stuff, and then how taken out I was. Okay, so I was getting real crazy there early March. 18,000 steps, February 29th. But that's the day 21 Pilots released that music. I just could not sit still. I was a machine. I could not sit still. And then the next day, you know, another 18,000. And as you can see, my trend for, okay, I mean, I'm pretty consistently above 10,000. You can see the 10,000 mark here. There. Consistently above, anywhere between 10 and 20,000 a day is my, like, I mean, we're going back. You can see a random day here and there where I was sick or, you know, had a migraine, low energy. But for the most part, we're consistently, you know, unless I'm ill or, you know, whatever. But look at that. I mean, just taken off the step counter. In fact, let's see what steps I got on my worst day, which was March 10th. How many days ago was that? 3 days ago. 1936 is all the steps I got. And Boston didn't get any of this. He stayed home. What's today? Wednesday. He stayed home Monday with a stomach ache. But Wrigley, the same day I got sick, he also got sick, but he just had like a stomach ache and like digestive upset. He never got what I got. And weird thing too is usually if you have like a flu or a this or a that, you'll get a fever for however many days you have it. The fever breaks and then you start healing and what have you. Um, Tuesday, the 5th, I had a fever into um, pretty much that night. So like at least 12 hours. And then 3 days goes by, no fever. And then the fever's back. Like that's not, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's not normal, right? Like that's usually you get something, you have the fever until you don't, and then it doesn't randomly come back 3 days later, does it? Is that a thing that I'm just unaware of? Because I've never heard of that. But the same thing happened to Wrigley. He didn't get any of the cough. None of them got the cough or the cold, sinusy stuff that I've got going on. But I did. But Wrigley, about 4 days apart, also had a fever, and then nothing, 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 and then a fever again. But the whole time I've been sick, I just feel like this, again, like etheric trash bag, almost just like heavy trash bag of just etheric frequency just dialed down on me. So it's not like this is something that anyone could catch. No one's going to catch this from me because it feels very etherically placed. My husband also got sick, but again, totally different symptoms and circumstances. He never got a fever. He was never like down for the count in bed multiple days like Wrigley and I were with our two completely different illnesses. And Boston, again, was kind of, and I would even argue that he was faking so he could stay home and play games. Like, I will maybe say that's what he did. I mean, maybe his stomach did hurt, but maybe not so much that he needed to stay home. But like, you weren't getting any arguing from me. I did not feel good that day. I was just like, I'm in bed, man. I don't know what to tell you. You're on your own for lunch. But yeah, what a long strange trip it's been these past however long I've been sick. I mean, it's weird because in some ways it feels like I've been sick, like I can't remember what it feels like to feel good. But then in other ways it feels like the blink of an eye. Like, I don't know, it's so weird. Yeah, less about the belief in any kind of karmic retribution and more about acting in ways that don't contribute. Right, right. I love that, Brandy Lynn, and I'm right there with you, girl. Oh, skip ad. Okay, we were at 6:42. So it's about every 5 minutes so far. We're timing these contractions. So 6:48. Ooh, maybe close to 6 minutes. Baby's not coming anytime soon. Sorry, guys. There were days there in a row I couldn't even talk. So I'm like excited I can talk again. Like my Friday, I had no voice at all last Friday. And then Saturday we had Boston's birthday party of all things. I showed up, I was there, sure was, but sure wasn't. Like mentally I was so far away. But yeah, again, it's not like I could get anyone sick anyway, so I didn't feel too bad showing up. And I actually felt toward the end of the party, it was only like an hour and a half long party, but toward the end of the party, I felt fine until I got home. And then just that heavy suppression of something came back down again. And not that it really quite ever left, but it just seemed to double down. This kind of reminds me, I probably should do another big frankincense smoke out around here. That really set things off last time, but I felt so much better. But this is how you know things, and it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't, because when you really start going to town as far as cleaning house on a lot of these entities and just AI interference, whatever you want to call the bots and the just whatever it is that's trying to keep you down or keep you from really living your purpose, whatever that is for each of you. Just so much just comes into attack, and that's something that I'm like, wow, the hits just keep on coming. And I think it was Wednesday, it would have been like the 6th and the 7th, Wednesday and Thursday last week. Like, I think I had every ailment under the sun: the migraine, digestive upset, Couldn't breathe out of my nose, massive sinus pressure, the worst sore throat I've ever had in my life. Every bone, joint, muscle in my whole body hurt. I like texted my mom at one point, like, I feel like I'm wearing just this huge vest of pain, like this just tightening vest of pain. Like my whole core was just pain, pain. Like I think every single muscle hurt, every single bone, every single um, organ. And again, it felt very frequency related. Like I could hear all these different shifting weird frequencies, and that's not a normal body response to, I get it. You get the chills, you get body aches. Usually these things kind of go like you have this and then you have this, and then it kind of, but like for days on end, and then multiple things, just like at one point I'm like, again, like those like unaliving yourself kind of thoughts come in, and I just started laughing like hysterically, and I felt crazy in the moment too, believe me. Thank goodness no one was there at that moment to witness that, because I'm like, can I feel any more pain right now? Like, I guess someone could come around and hit me like with a bat or something, and maybe, but would it even register as more pain because I'm in so much pain that's completely unwarranted, or just doesn't make sense for what's actually going on here? Like how could there be more pain? How could there be? Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh, you almost didn't want to post when it came to your purpose, but I know it's not my energy. Oh, and this is something that somehow triggered this knowing again within me, to not so much anymore speak out what you're trying to manifest. I mean, of course, we think things in our head without trying to, and yeah, they can still get to us that way. But it's almost like when you speak something out, I don't know. I can kind of see it both ways. Like you speak something out, it's like that they make that their personal mission by these frequencies, this matrix, whatever, to keep you from that, whatever it is, whatever it is. I don't know. I'm just I'm so over this matrix, I'll tell you that. But yeah, I feel like something has shifted to where before, like again, just having these huge downloads and epiphanies and me really just going full force on my own like psychic protection is what kind of acted as the catalyst for this big attack to come in. I don't think I'd have gotten this great big attack if I hadn't worked so diligently over the last probably month or so to do everything I can to clear my energy field. I did a whole bunch of stuff with just cleansing, clearing, decluttering my aura and my energy as much as I can, as much as any of us can. Bananas. Thank you. But it's like, yeah, it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't, because, but I would still say to do everything in your spiritual power to cleanse and clear your energy, I would say even make it like an experiment, if you can't afford to get sick right now, maybe don't do it right now, but to allow, we're at now ads again, 6:53 this time. Is this the same amount of time? About 5 minutes, kind of about 5-6 minutes. So I guess it's gonna just be this way. Every 5 to 6 minutes, they're just gonna try to make you guys see all these ads for whatever reason. I do not know. Okay, yeah, I almost didn't want to post when it came to my purpose. Oh, it's not my energy. When it came to your purpose, any tips on following your purpose? Maybe I'm misunderstanding your question. You cleanse up your knowledge, wear protection and crystals, pray. I don't know. Can you phrase the question, tips on what specifically? On about, how to cleanse properly. Gotcha. The most effective thing, physical thing, because we of course can use our own spiritual and universal, like divine, like original source creator energy to, put shields or, boundaries or bubbles around ourselves. We can totally do that. But the best physical thing I've found for cleansing and clearing entities, anything stronger than even like demons, jinn energy, you can clear that energy with frankincense resin. Um, but you can order that right on Amazon or go to any probably spiritual shop and get that. Um, but you can't just burn it just as is. You need these little charcoal discs specifically for resin. So you could probably, I guess, get like a charcoal briquette from your whatever, but that's probably not the healthiest way to do it. So get the specific ones to burn resin. And usually if you just go on Amazon and search frankincense resin, you find the whatever one you want. And then usually as a suggested, because I would say most people would order one with the other. If you didn't have one or the other, you'd order them both. Those little, and they're just like a little, do I have, oh yeah, I have it up here. I have a pouch of it downstairs as well, but this is the big box of 100, I think. Yeah, 100 they're tablets. And they just come like this in a pack, a whole bunch of them. I'll just open it just to show you. My grandmother would be rolling in her grave. Don't use your teeth to open packages. So, and you're gonna need like a fire safe bowl. My weapon of choice, I guess, with that is just an abalone shell, and it has like a wooden cradle base to it, because you want to be able to carry it around, and that whole charcoal is going to get piping hot. It's going to become a coal, like in a fire, a coal. But never have I seen the energies and entities, and it's weird because a lot of even what was cleared out of my house right before the big attack came in, and I didn't use the resin even once. And I have another big crazy thing to tell you guys too. I'm also doing a shamanic self, formerly known as Pleiadian Healer, Laura with Pleiadian Healer. I'm doing her course that I purchased way back a long time ago. And I was about to do the part where you I can't remember exactly what happened. I'm gonna have to go back through. So much has happened, you guys. I feel like it's been a lifetime since I've talked to you guys, but I was about, like, we had full on poltergeist activity around here, and I probably need to clear some things in this whole place. Now that I'm feeling better, I can actually like form the thought to do it and then follow through with it, actually doing it. Man, so many crazy things have happened. Let me scroll back through my conversations with my mom, because I told her as it was happening in real time. Oh, not that far back. And the crazy thing is, this whole thing was catalyzed by me clearing any remaining or lingering energy of that healer that I got wrapped up with end of 2021 going into early 2022. I'm not going to say her name, but it's not Roots Restored Wellness or anyone like that. But I did this big banishing candle spell to banish the rest of any remaining energy. And let's see. Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is so crazy. So I forgot, like the series of events got fuzzy in my mind. But anyway, I might just read this out because it's just easier. So in one of the modules for shamanic self, like I was telling you guys, I was doing all this like shamanic journeying into the womb space, and as I'm sensing things that aren't supposed to be in my energy field, both of these things were off to the left. So I found just a black cloud that in my awareness, I was told that's AI interference. So I was like, okay, got it. And then I saw this X, and Kalite, this when you said something about that X earlier, I wanted to say this then. Oh, let's skip ads again. 5 minutes later. I saw at the end, Okay, so if we're standing, it's on like the left hip bone area, but like out kind of away from the body. Like kind of out down level. Like if you're laying on a bed, it's kind of hovering above like the left hip bone, but kind of out. I would say at least 3 feet away from like the human body was an X sign of an X with a little curly Q on the end, the little curly Q on the bottom of the right foot of the X. I saw that symbol, and I've been like going down all these rabbit holes with symbols and stuff. And this is what I told my mom about it. Oh no, I gotta scroll back up. I lost my spot. Okay, so anyway, I have a point and I'm getting somewhere, I promise. Anyway, so my mom's like, maybe you should go to the doctor. This is just kind of a jumping in point, if you will. I'm like, I keep hearing it will pass, it will pass. I'm not worried. And I'm getting so many downloads. I had a fever yesterday, and today I'm in my shamanic journeying, pretty much like meditating. I saw an X symbol with a little curly on the bottom right leg of the X, and I heard it was a curse put on humanity. I'm going to see about removing it today to see what happens. And then my mom said maybe this lady had something to do with it. I said it's in the bottom left of the human energy field near the hip bone, pelvis, but it appears outside of the actual body. I said, I think she is the smallest potatoes compared to what this is, but she was absolutely an agent of the dark forces. My mom's like, agreed. And then I said, but it's in my banishing her energy that I'm now able to see this ish again. I was going up, 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 and when I met her, she brought me down, down, down. But I'm gaining major insights again. I'm going back and studying a bunch of ancient texts, spending like 13 plus hours a day researching and writing and thinking about this stuff, and got major downloads for 2 of the books in my series, which are trying to tell people all about this stuff. And I said, it's all connected. And because I'm figuring this ish out, I'm struck down. But funny thing is, I always learn so much when I'm hurt or sick in bed. I'm like a research and meditating fiend. And then I'm like, holy ish, mom. I was just doing the part in my shamanic course to remove that X with the squiggle and then that kind of black cloud when my battery was at 87%, drained instantly. Just drained instantly the second I go to start the module to do the meditation or the journeying to go in and remove this curse put on humanity. I said, I have frankincense resin. Oh, my mom's like, I think you should do a sage clearing in the room. I said, I have frankincense resin that is much more powerful than sage that I will use. Only demons, jinn, and poltergeists are powerful enough to do this. This is awesome. It tells me I'm onto something. Only I would say this is awesome at a time like that. So then I plug it in. Got chills right now. Oh, I feel my spirit coming through. Then I plug it in, and it instantly jumps to 32%. Like, that's never happened before in my life. My mom said the evil forces are out there by the droves right now, and they are desperate. I bet that is what Boston saw in the hall at Dunn's, my in-laws' house. I don't know if I told you guys that. He saw this like shadow lady run down the hallway at my in-laws' house, but her arms were like back behind her as she's running. Just hearing about it creeped me the heck out. But yeah, he saw some, and this was like months ago, or not months, but like a month ago. Anyway, I told my mom that the X with the curly on it almost looks like an X with a conjoined cursive E, like an XE or something. And then I'm like going down the rabbit hole, XE, Googling XE. Xenon, that's the, in the periodic table, XE is for xenon. And wouldn't you know what XE means? The name is derived from the Greek xenos, which means stranger. So this X with the little curly on the end means it's a stranger to the human body. It's not supposed to be there. And I heard right, it is a curse put on the human body. And it says xenon means stranger, X marks the spot. And in math, X is unknown. And in English proofreading, the curly Q is the delete. Yeah, the little loop-de-loop on the end of that X was delete. And so it basically told me, just looking at I don't know if it actually shows up this way or if it's just my spirit decoding what was placed at that like hip bone area. Um, I'm like, this is crazy. I was able to delete it just by feeling into the darkness for it. The unknown became known and I was able to delete it. But I have searched that area of my energy field, I don't know how many times, that's never been there before. But when I tuned into it initially, I knew it was there the whole time. I just didn't have the eyes to see, ears to hear, whatever, to be able to tune into it at the time. So I said, I guess we'll see what happens now that it's gone. And I heard when I did that, and I've tuned in probably 3 or 4 times since, it's not there anymore. It's gone. And I got it for everybody. It's gone. We all have our special reasons and abilities to be here. I guess that was one of mine. So I'm not exactly sure what that curse was that was put on humanity, but since I deleted it, I did start to feel better. Funny enough. Um, okay, and I don't know if this is relevant, but I'll just keep going and read you guys my dreams. I had some, Lee was saying, very crazy, out of the box, off the wall, out of pocket dreams going on right now. So I said in my dream last night, there's this huge, creepy looking female animatronic puppet who was smoking a cigarette. I was playing a recorder like we had to in the 5th grade, but it was Boston's. The mouth end of the puppet's cigarette caught on fire, and the people inside the puppet tried to bring the cigarette all the way into the belly through the mouth of the thing. And all of a sudden, it was in your driveway, my mom's driveway where her house burned down, standing next to your house. It caught the house on fire, and I ran for the hose. It only caught a cup and a few dishes on fire before I put it out. You were in the driveway with, I think, Boston, Melissa, and Timmy, that's my brother and sister, and drove off. I was upset you left me behind for some reason, and I pulled out my phone to call you, but I couldn't get to your number. Or if I did, it took me to Instagram or other places, and then I woke up. And then the night before that, Ryan, me, and the kids were on some sort of trip, but we were going on foot, which I've never in my life taken a like on foot trip like you would have back in the old days. You pack your rucksack and your whatever, and you start off down the journey of the road. Never, at least in this incarnation, have I done something like that. We were about to run out of food and water, and we're in this desert. And then this guy in an elaborate stagecoach came and had water and food. But when we are in this big house with lots of rooms, and we know the guy has us locked down in this place. My cousin, one of my like third cousins, was there, and she fell out of her bedroom window. And this girl downstairs told us that she had a spaceship she was going to bring down over the Bay Area. I'm gonna assume she means like San Francisco area, to pick us up so we could escape. I was gathering all of our clothes and stuff and made sure we didn't forget Boston's like Lovey Bear, his favorite toy, Nenny. And in both dreams, I couldn't find my bra last night. And then at no something point at, I think that's the night before, at some point, I also, so in both dreams, I couldn't find my bra. Like I'm running around doing all this crazy stuff and I don't even have a bra on. I don't know if that's relevant or what, but yeah, just completely off the wall dreams going on. Let's see. Oh, and then I just had this epiphany in the back and forth with my mom. I use that banishing candle to dispel that healer lady's energy from me, and now all of this happens. Full circle moment back to the delete message. The lady told me to delete my manuscripts, that writing was the wrong path for me. I had totally forgotten about that. But I was in the moment because she had told me, no, I need to be focused on music, which it did resonate because she asked me what are some of my other hobbies. And I'm like, well, I used to be really into writing music and lyrics, and, I love music. So she used another thing that she maybe knows isn't my path to kind of lure me off the path. And yeah, music is a very noble and amazing path, but it's maybe not my path. I can enjoy music and appreciate music and all that, and maybe play it once in a while, but I don't need to go down that road. I know that, and I knew that at the time, but, again, Archangel Michael was leading me toward this lady and with this lady and down the path of this lady the whole time. No, just stick it out. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. It never got better. It got worse upon worse upon worse upon worse. upon worse. Did I mention worse? Uh, yeah. So, and it's not that this lady's so amazing that she tuned in and, wanted to completely destroy my life. These forces work through other people. So she might have thought she was doing the Lord's work for all we know, but she sure was not. But I had my little finger, because at the time I only had the one book written. I had my little finger hovered over that, you know, delete, delete manuscript key. But that deep down voice, be it a whisper, yes, yes, it is. But it said, don't do it. Don't do it. And I didn't do it. And now I'm 6, 7 books in, plan wise, not written, but plan wise into this series that is trying to, in a creative way, bring light to everything I try to say here, and just the truth as I know it, as we all can know it, or as much as one can know the truth in this messed up, upside down, inside out, completely inverted society. you know yeah, so much craziness though. But yeah, I feel like I'm just getting started on something, not just like the book series, but just so many things. And oh my gosh, yeah, the book 1 is written. I do need another full draft through, and then I'm going to be looking for beta readers. So if anyone wants to be a beta reader, you guys will be the first to know, because this is really the only place I hang out online, where I'm actually engaging or interacting. That's what I was trying to say. Oh, hi. Oh, I miss you too, Kayla. Oh, I'm so glad you could come in. Oh my God, I've been through the ringer. I probably sounded like a major crazy person at the beginning of this live stream, maybe even right now, for all I know. But the longer I get into a live stream, I don't care anymore. I sound crazy. Oh, yeah, I'm still working diligently. Well, hopefully, fingers crossed. Well, it's funny. Wrigley's probably feeling well enough to go to school tomorrow, but it's only a day till 11 a.m. They only go to school till 11 a.m. and then he's home again, and he has Friday off, and then it's spring break, so he's pretty much missed a month of school at this point. Not quite, but it sure feels like it. Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm this crazy person waking up to the construction of the Matrix around here. Yeah. But what I want to do, I think I've rambled on an hour and 12 minutes on the dot. Let's pull a card for everybody who's here. Oh, and that's what we're gonna get into on Friday. The fact that the only reason that tarot even works is because we are in the simulation. This is a matrix. Everything's scripted. Yes, we still have that voice of our spirit coming through, and that's what we probably should focus on more than all these distractions everywhere. But I want to do that deep dive into exactly what I've uncovered about like tarot, astrology, like so much. We're gonna get into it. But yeah, basically the hidden stuff is coming. I'm checking my notes here. Hidden stuff is coming to light. Run your chart through the Babylonian, so it's like sidereal. The Ayanamsha would be Fagan Bradley system to get you the closest to where the stars actually are, and your birth chart will be so accurate that you will just be there with your jaw on the floor. Like I was saying earlier about how right exactly to the day that my house burned when I was 13, it says that on that day my house would burn down. So you want the most accurate. And it's not that this is accurate because it's some divine gift given to us. Hell no. Why it's so accurate is because this is the blueprint of the Matrix. That's what that is. That's why it's so accurate. So really, yeah, it's like we need to know the enemy's plans by knowing our astrology, to know the ways that we get triggered, because that's how they set us up to be triggered. But your spirit also shows up in that chart. So it is absolutely worth knowing what your birth details are to run your own chart. And yeah, I mean, to me, it feels like it's of utmost importance on this planet. More than learning anything else is to learn who we are inside and out, so that we can overcome, or at the very least, just pay no mind to these triggers that we can sit there and try to heal till we're blue in the face, and they're not ever going to heal because they are, deep wounds, so deep that the only way to overcome them is to really tune into your spirit. Yeah, know yourself and know yourself well. That's what we're aiming for. But yeah, Friday we're gonna get into why tarot works, and much like the astrology, I think tarot is probably maybe not a bad thing because it's not the blueprint or the architecture of the matrix itself. But of course, it operates within the context of said, and why predictions and readings can be so mother flippin' accurate is because could there be any other option? Probably not. We're learning here now that even the what's the word? The illusion of choice. Again, there is that little whisper of the spirit that is with us as well. So that could be, and it has to be the only way to flip the script. It has to be. But the only way to get to that true spirit is to go within. You're not going to hear the voice of your true spirit out there or over there or from this person or that person. It's within you. You know? All right. So, yeah, know thyself well. Pop info of that chart to use in the comments. Oh, yes. Let's see. So, if you go to AstroSeek, and you find that's one too many E's. My apologies. But you go on AstroSeek, and let me just try to do it here. So those of you that have another screen handy, like if you're on your phone and you don't have another screen, maybe just tab this. We're at 1:16:16 timestamp wise to revisit this later. So you would just go to AstroSeek. Type that in the old Google machine. I'm sure there's other places you can do it, but I know for sure this is one of them. So that's why I'm saying this one. So free astrology charts is like that first tab there, right under where it says AstroSeek logo up at the top. Go to birth natal chart calculator, the very first little thing in the menu there. Click that little bad boy. Then you're going to go down to your birth details. Actually, no, before the birth details, kind of off to the side, it says current planets, and then you've got the drop down as far as the different, you want to go down to where it says various sidereal ionomshas and go all the way down to Fag and Bradley. It's Bradley. It's the fourth one down of the various sidereal and ionomshas. So click Fag and Bradley. Bradley. Why do I keep saying Bradley? Oh, let's got to skip those ads again. We're skipping. Okay. Once you make it that far, click OK. Well, put your birth details in. I'll just do it for the sake of this to see. Okay, so my birth details will differ from yours, obviously. Birth time. And if you don't know your birth time, there are ways you can get it remedied or, oh gosh, it's another R word. Rectified. There it is. Oops, I gotta spell my birth city right. It's French. There it is. Okay. So calculate chart. Now there's one more thing you want to change. Down. Let's see. How did I do it? Okay, so aspect tables. How did I do it? Because this will do it to where maybe part of the house is Gemini and the other part of the house is Cancer. So it's not like whole sign house system. Okay, there it is. Okay, house system. So I just click the tab right. Once your chart gets, it's going to look like a circle with some lines, blue and red lines. Go to aspect tables. I think there's another way to do this, but this is the way I'm just finding it now. And then scroll down where it says house system. And you're going to go down to equal And then in parentheses, it says velo, VEHLOW. Aspect default orbs, that you can leave all that. And then again, tropical sidereal or RA at the bottom, go to Fagan Bradley and then redraw that chart. And this is how I got it. And then you can click that highlighted aspect table again, or click over back to birth chart. That'll take you back. I don't know, maybe you didn't even have to do that. Maybe that was already there. Maybe you don't have to do the aspect tables at all. Is that correct? Let me see. Follow Fagan Bradley. Okay, yes, I think, yes, this is looking about where I need it. Okay, yeah. So that's going to be your Hellenistic, Babylonian, most accurate birth chart you're going to find on this matrix. And yes, those of you that follow Western astrology might be completely blown away by the fact that you are a full sign behind what you thought you were for your sun, moon, or rising, or all the other placements. And I myself am now showing up as a Virgo ascendant instead of Libra ascendant. And yeah, it's kind of interesting. But the planet there's two things that you want to look at in this chart is where your Venus is. Venus, and again, you might want to watch Ola Wolny. And she doesn't have her own YouTube channel, but she's all over the place. You watch one live stream, she touches on a lot of the same information from live stream to live stream on different people's channels. OLAWOLNY. That's how you spell her name. And it's so kismet that I actually even found her. The only reason is I was looking for a European last name that translates to mean free or free person, free man. And Wolny is a Polish last name. And so my main character's last name is Wolny, and Ola's last name is Wolny. And I just was Googling Wolny, and I saw someone mention Ola Wolny, and I saw the word matrix and Venus and moon, and I was like, wait a second, what's this? And this was like a year. It's around the time I had the rude awakening from the awakening. So like end of 2022. Yeah, when I discovered her, and she's been doing a lot of interviews recently, and I went on a like Ola Wolny rabbit hole, and let's just say there's some really amazing information in what she has to share. If you're unsure where to start, maybe start on Tony Sayers' channel. He has no less than maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 different interviews with her. Good starting point. Another person, a guy's channel called Decode the Matrix. His name is Logan. He has a few where she even runs through his chart with him. That would be a good one to watch. It's called Decode the Matrix. And he does a lot of literal like Chaldean numerology to decode the matrix. So like if you want some deep dives into the fact that heaven is the same like meaning as thalamus, like in your brain, and oh my gosh, like again, keep an open mind. Keep an open mind, because it's gonna blow the tops off of everything you thought you knew about everything. Yeah, so that's how we kind of draw up our, oh, let's skip ads. It's been 5 minutes apparently. Anyway, I think I've rambled enough tonight. We will get more into why tarot works so well. And now that we know that it works so well, and maybe we are just predestined to do all these things and then die, maybe. But I say no, because we also have that fractal of spirit that is with us, that has gone rogue and has the ability to go rogue. And the more we can live from that spirit and tune into that spirit and get to know and become and be that, I mean, we are that spirit. We have no choice but to be that spirit, but we're also all these other things on top of it in this matrix. So it's not about healing anymore. We're not here healing. We're peeling. We're peeling away what's not us. And Ola said that, something about stop healing and start peeling. And it resonated so deeply with me, and she is so right. I cannot take credit for the, healing and peeling analogy. That's all her. And maybe she heard it somewhere else, or I don't know, but When I heard it, it resonated so deeply within me. I know it's true. I know it's true because we could spend all of our lives healing and healing and healing, and there's just going to be more to heal. Not to say that we can't do healing when we need to, because we can, and we probably should from time to time, but we should not get so lost in the healing that we don't live our purpose and, continue on. Because think of it, healing is, trying to recover parts of yourself or overcome something from the past. It's going to keep, and that's something that the New Age movement, it just keeps you stuck in the past. And I don't think that's the best place for us to be right now. I think the best place to be is in the present and planning for a better future and working our way for a better future. But the only moment we have to do anything or accomplish anything is in a now moment, whether it's this now moment or future now moment. That's where our power lies. And that is something I've said on my channel since day one. And it's still just as true now as it was then. So let's maybe pull some cards to see for each of us that are here how you are personally tuning into your spirit. Let's make this so relevant to what we're talking about. Not so much the doom and gloom of what we were talking about, just this place being one big psychic attack net that's been placed over all of us. And then the second you are, hip to the jive that we're in this, I don't know what we want to call it, prison planet. We got to have some hope, right? So let's bring some hope to everybody. Let's put a 1010, the number 1010 in the chat. If you want me to pull you a card to see how you can tune into your spirit, or maybe just what your spirit wants you to know. Let's say that. Let's put it that way. What does your spirit want you to know? Especially by way of how to live your best in this matrix system. What does Linda H's spirit want her to know? Ooh, Miss Sovereignty herself, the Queen of Wands. I love this for you, Linda. This really is about following your purpose, following your passion, doing the things that light you up and make you feel empowered. That's exactly what the Queen of Wands is about, feeling empowered. And tuning into that womb wisdom. Male or female, we all have that womb. Energetically speaking, we have that womb space. That's the void. That's the only way in, and I will argue probably the only way out of this matrix system. Woo! All right. So Pika Lee, let's get Pika Lee's message from her true spirit, her inner self. And we have the world putting an end to something, closing out a cycle. Look at that. Yeah. This really is about closing out cycles or being able to, finish something so you can start something new. Specifically surrounding maybe belief systems, because we're really putting this in the context of, everything we've talked about tonight. But if this applies in other ways, of course, take it as it resonates. But yeah, you're closing something out to start something new or to have a new path forward. All right. Brandy Lynn, message from Brandy Lynn's spirit. And we have here the Three of Wands. It's time to move forward on something. Take action on a plan. Something maybe intuitively you've thought about, haven't been hot about. Now's the time to take action. Very cool. And this could even be some, past good deeds coming, that karma. But past good deeds coming back to you, or, effort you put into something is going to pay off in a big way coming up. Very cool. All right, Michelle. Welcome, Michelle. All right. Let's get Michelle a card from her true spirit. We have the Page of Pentacles. There's a new beginning here. Maybe even throwing the rule book out and starting something completely from scratch or something completely new. Something that you may not even quite have on your radar yet, or it's just kind of starting to tease into that peripheral of your awareness coming up. Like this could even be literally planting some new seeds. Oh, I see your name right after Michelle in my lineup. Sometimes it gets it gets a little wonky or out of order for you guys as the way I see it, which is weird. I never know why that is, but yeah, there's this new path for you, Michelle, that is coming in. All right, Kalite. All right, Kalite, let's get your card. Tuning into Kalite's true spirit. What does she need to know? Same card. Oh, let's skip those ads. So there might be something that you once started or had started, or, you know, had some of the tools to start, but it didn't quite come to fruition, or didn't quite happen, didn't quite land. This next time is going to be the charm. So if there's something that you had to put on a back burner, or you didn't have all the information, this time you're going to be able to move forward with something. Again, could even be good past deeds coming in to support you on a new journey, Kalite. Could even be a trip for both Michelle and Kalite about being able to take a trip, or, I mean, it doesn't have to be a literal physical journey. It could be an internal journey you're taking as well. All right, Banana Anna S, let's get your card. Message from your true spirit. Ooh, we have the Two of Cups. So very interesting with the Caduceus here in the middle. The snakes with the staff. That's like a healing or a medical kind of term, symbol. Not a term, but a symbol. I don't know if you're working on healing a like soulmate connection, or looking to like overcome something that happened in a connection. This could even be your connection like between your divine feminine, divine masculine energies. There's something you're doing healing this connection. And I'm being told to get a second card, which I didn't with anyone else, but I'm going to listen. So here we go. Ooh, maybe not feeling the love from someone, or just seeing if maybe there's somebody in your inner circle, or because I'm really, this card, really drawn to these like almost concentric circles here coming in and out. Someone who maybe only they show up when they need your help, or there's an imbalance of relational power here that you are tuning into, or figuring out to be able to decide what you're going to do. All right. That could even be, your, connection to the matrix itself. Like, I'm out. We're done with this. I do not consent. All right. John, let's get John a card. Oh, one fell right off the top. The Two of Cups again. So there's a theme there. This could even be you healing from past connections, doing some cord removal, clearing energy from past, specifically like love connections, but also the Two of Swords. The twos are very like mental energies as well, though, specifically about feeling confused or unsure of a direction to go. But the fact that you've got the Two Swords here to cut those past energies, past connections, stuff like this, that just aren't serving you. And I would even say for those in healthy relationships, cutting, or more specifically, removing energy cords between you and a loved one, you and a parent, you and a good friend, even when things are going good, it'll just keep that connection healthy. But when things have gone off the rails, or you're in a rut in a relationship, or, you're just not feeling the love anymore, sometimes cutting those cords or removing those cords will just make you realize maybe we're just not it for each other anymore. Maybe we've outgrown this friendship, or whatever it is. And it doesn't mean you're better or they're better, or you're worse or they're worse. Just sometimes it's time to move on, and that's what I get with this for you, John, is maybe just doing some analysis of past connections and clearing that old energy out. All right, let's get Pam a card. Passmore 5 from her true spirit. And we have here the Two of Wands. Maybe you're making some trip plans. This is a plan. You're getting some information, or gathering some information together to make a plan. So it's not quite time to make a move on that plan, but yeah. Maybe you're even getting a lot of downloads or a lot of information. Maybe you're even in research mode on something, and maybe even researching one thing leads you down a rabbit hole to another, to another, to another. And before you know it, 6 hours has gone by and you're like in all these research rabbit holes. But I would say follow your intuition on something to learn as much as you can about something coming up. All right. Let's get one for Kayla, or as her name says, K-Rum. I love it. We have the Strength card. I love this. And normally, people really focus on the fact that there's a lion on this card. Well, I focus more on the fact that there is a, human interacting in a way that is in a dominant place to this lion. So it's like taming the wild within, or just being able to tune into that true source of inner strength, your true spirit. Very spiritual card with the Strength card as well. And even if our like human egos or our, we get triggered, we're angry with something, asking like more for your true spirit to come through when you're triggered or feeling a certain type of way about someone or something, or even just the nature of reality and how unfair it all is. Just tuning into that true spirit to help you through, because there can be some dark times when, especially when you just feel like, well, what's even the point of this life or this relationship or this, we can, as humans, can find ourselves in some very dark recesses of our own minds. And Kayla, this is saying, if you are coming to any point of feeling a certain type of way about even the nature of life itself, to tune into your true spirit, that fractal of, the original source creator, not even the gods of this matrix, but we're trying to search beyond this matrix. And that's where you're going to find that is through your own spirit. All right. Skipping ads again. All right. Let's see. I might be able to like more into the afternoon, Brandy Lynn. But that might be too late for you because I know you're already 2 hours ahead of me. But Friday, Wrigley will be home all day, but Boston has school all day. So Friday actually might work for me if that works for you. No, I can't because we have the live stream. See, I'm already off my schedule so much I forget I live stream on Fridays. So I'd say maybe we shoot for Monday of next week. All right, Tunisia. Let's get Tunisia a card from her true spirit. What does she need to know? Oh, you get 2 as well. So the Knight of Cups and the King of Cups. So going on a journey to balance your emotional state or to make sense of something that has felt very off for you. You're going within to find some answers. This feels very internal, an internal journey to get to the truth of something. It feels like you are making moves or strides forward, but it's not in like a physically being out there kind of way. It's more of an internal journey to find balance or to reason through something maybe that happened, or even finding balance to something that was very unfair. Let's see. All right. So Jessica Lynn, let's get your card. Hour and a half plus in, and we're finally almost to the point where we're getting to our donations for the night. All right, Jessica Lynn, we have here the 2 of Pentacles. So you might be going back and forth. Could even be on certain belief systems, and there could even be, and this has happened to me multiple times, when shifting from being that Christian to then realizing maybe that Christian God is more like the Satan that is written about also in the same Bible, and just almost trying to hold 2 beliefs that go completely against each other at the same time. It almost like blows your mind. There might be an element of juggling, differing beliefs, or almost like that cognitive dissonance of, not quite being done believing one thing, but not quite sure you're ready to believe something else. Could even come with some mental confusion at times when we feel this way. But it's all going to balance out is what I'm hearing. So eventually you will find that sense of balance, or that sense of balance will be restored. And especially if you haven't been feeling well, or you've just been feeling off kilter or just kind of off your game, again, there's balance coming back in to help you out again. All right, DW, let's get DW a card. DW from your true spirit. Ooh, we have the Justice card. I love to see this one. Let's just say, well, as a former Libra ascendant, no longer Libra ascendant, but former, because I'm now a 29 point whatever degree Virgo ascendant, which feels so weird to me. But I did have a lot of Virgo energy already with my my Saturn and Mars in the 12th house. So I don't know. To me, there might be something you're learning. I'm getting to the point of your reading, DW, but sometimes I have to mental gymnastic my way through it. So there might have been something you thought was true, that when you learned it wasn't true, it threw you completely for a loop, like it did me with my, even if I was born 3 minutes later, 3 minutes earlier, I should say, I would have been a Virgo ascendant. So the fact that I'm now a Virgo ascendant should not surprise me any. But you're coming to some sort of conclusion that even if at first the information or the energy of it doesn't feel right or correct, or you want to deny it because it's not what you thought, eventually you will settle in the knowing of that truth, whatever that truth is. And the truth shall set you free is also what I'm hearing. So, yeah. Crazy, crazy, crazy world we live in. You're so welcome. Absolutely. Oh, I'm glad that Monday sounds good. All right, good. Big fingers crossed, knock on wood, that I haven't said so much tonight that I'm going to be targeted again for sickness. Unleash the hounds on her yet again. She said too much. Let's see. Okay, I got to go to my mail. I always forget which tab. Oh, it's on my other tab here. Mail. Okay, we have we have two donations. So the first one came in from Pika Lee. All right, Pika Lee, just remind us that you're here. I mean, I can also timestamp, but I will do that anyway. So 140.22. Pika Lee. And it got really hot in here. She's here. Yay. Okay. Man, where do I begin? I broke things off with Taurus for now. Oh no. I kept having this heavy feeling like I was carrying dead weight before I broke things off. It just felt like I needed to set myself free to allow both of us to grow. It's been hard, but I'm questioning my decision. But I feel like I had to honor myself and what I want in a relationship. I hope he can elevate himself so that we can maybe come back together. But I'm also opening myself for a new person who may be, I can talk, I swear. Who may best suit my needs. May I please have some guidance regarding whether it was the right decision to break things off with Taurus and what to look forward to ahead. I'm feeling a little lost and sad, but hopeful. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. I'm sorry. Aw. And it's interesting because on Monday, I forgot to mention this earlier, but for some reason I'm bringing it up now, and I know why, and I'll circle back to your question. I get a call from my mom Monday, which was Boston's actual birthday, and then his party was Saturday the 9th. And she tells me, first and foremost, I'm not going to be able to make it to the party. And I was just like, oh, okay. She's like, I got to go to the emergency room. She woke up. She couldn't feel her legs. She thought she was having another stroke. From Jump Street of the call, though, I was not at all worried. I was not at all concerned. I told her, yes, please go in for your peace of mind and just to make sure. But they're not going to find anything. They run their tests or their CAT scans or whatever it is they do. They're not going to find anything. I knew it was energy. I knew she was being attacked, psychically attacked, just because, like we were talking about, because what happened, my mom calls and I see your name, Pika Lee, in my mind's eye. And it reminded me of how you were doing great. Everything was going so amazing for you. So the psychic attack, they can't get to you. So they're going to get to the people in your life. Well, the same thing happened to me. They couldn't get to me until later that day. But they got to my mom. They're attacking, the peripheral of your life to get to you. And I knew that. And I told her that. And she didn't quite seem to buy it until she got back home and they couldn't find anything. And then she's like, okay, I get it. It's probably what's going on. Yeah. So this to me feels like this is how this, psychic attack was hit on you, was to go after him, really make him insecure with really played on a lot of his insecurities the past, I don't know how long, a couple months at least. I would say since about October of last year, they've really been playing up, turning the screws on his insecurities, and then the fact that he got stuck over in India. It felt like that was kind of the beginning of the end, and not in the way I'm trying to make this sound. And it doesn't mean you guys can't come back together, but this does feel like very targeted attack on you by way of him. But let's just see, as far as I do feel it was the right decision, because yes, it does feel like this heaviness that doesn't need to be there. So let's just see what is in your best interest, according to your true spirit, Pika Lee, in moving forward. But it was the right decision. Yes, it was the right decision. because so many of his insecurities, he brought them into the relationship that almost made you, in ways, question not so much you and yourself, but you and yourself with him, if that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. So you're on a new journey, to be single for a bit and, not feel like you have to rush anything or move too quickly on anything. Um, but yeah, you are, kind of working through some of your emotions and just feeling, who am I as this amazing, person and, uh, you know, person in this matrix? Like, what is it I'm here to do? What lights me up? What do I want to experience? You might even be making some sort of career move or change. I know this usually isn't a career card as far as I'm concerned, but at the heart of this card is always about success. I see you successfully being able to navigate your way through this breakup kind of like vibe that you're going through right now by really putting yourself into your work, but also into your personal like development or leveling up or peeling away the versions of you that aren't you. You're spot on. Yeah. The tarot does work this way. So it's very interesting. But there is, taking into account that world card, big ending. And when we got that world card for you, I almost wanted to ask you at that point, is this over with Taurus? I could feel it right then. But yes, this is about deciding between this way or that way. And I think you've already made your choice. You've chosen yourself. Not to say you would have completely lost yourself in this connection with Taurus, but it just would have been taking on a lot of unneeded and unnecessary burden on you right now, because that's all his stuff. And if he wants to focus and face it and overcome it, which it's going to become significantly harder for someone who's not hip to the jive of this, the ways of this matrix, life feels that much worse or that much heavier because they think things are their fault or they think they should have done better. Or, yes, there are times that we drop the ball and we could do and should do better, obviously. But when you can really pare down the fact that so many of us are already dialed down to like a 1 or a 2 when our complete potential is like a 300, um, we're operating already severely limited. And I just see him maybe never getting to the level you're already at. And again, it's no one's better or worse than anyone else because anyone's woken up to this or that. It's just you're already on this level, and I don't think in this whole lifetime, unless a miracle happens, he's ever going to get to the level you're currently at. And Pika Lee, the level you're currently at, you're going to continue to go. Like, you're getting new insights, you're learning new things, you are, connecting more to yourself every day. Skip those ads. um, he's just never going to be able to keep up. I know, I wish so many people in my life would wake up as well. It's like, but it'll either happen or it won't. And we can just either continue to play the game with these people or level up so much that we're doing something completely different and it doesn't make sense to even be in certain relationships anymore. And I guess that's maybe the collateral damage of this whole thing. But yeah, this really is about taking what you have, the resources you have available to you, the knowledge, the wisdom, just the fact that you are a divine being in this matrix and making it work for you. Who's to say we have to be all doom and gloom here? Because I know there's a way out, but I don't think that the whole point of this is to escape. As much as we may want to, I think the point of this is to come in and help liberate this matrix. We are those saviors, or we are those, the people we are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the saviors of our own hides and our own matrix here, to level us up out of here. Of course, I think the planet herself is helping energetically with these just unknown source of energy coming into the planet from the planet, and also from the great central sun coming in to help elevate, get us out of this Kali Yuga time of just the dark ages here. And you're doing much the same, just working on yourself and doing the things that bring you joy and paying your bills and being a person. And you're really leveling up, though. Is there anything else Pika Lee needs to know as a result of this breakup or just being able to move forward. Aw. You're going to be able to move forward. You're going to have your happy family and you're, as happy as we can be, here. But again, it doesn't have to be all doom and gloom. You can make this game of life here a complete masterpiece. Yes, we have all this against us, but we also have our true spirit on board. So the fact you have your part of your spirit here with you, good luck. All that external noise is going to stop you from getting what you want and doing what you want. So just do what lights you up. Do what brings you joy. If you're looking for a career move or change, there's balance coming in. So, yeah, it doesn't feel like a massive career change, but like just a difference. Like there's something you're doing different at work. So I don't know if you're actively seeking a different position or what, but I just saw the Wheel of Fortune as I'm putting these back as well. So yeah, there might even be some sort of raise or promotion on the books. Very interesting. But yeah, it was definitely the right call. And I think at the very least, you guys could still maintain a friendship. Let's just see if that's possible. I do feel it's possible. Yeah, nothing's set in stone as far as your true spirit's decision on this. Matrix might have its set in stone, whatever, but I just think you're really kind of going your own direction, really focusing on your own development, your career. Like that's going to be kind of your main focus for a bit. And there's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, but if you want to remain friends, you have the potential to do that. So there it is. All right. So I hope that helped you ease a little bit of that, pain, guilt, sadness, whatever's going on with that. You did the right thing. Yeah, it would be cool to be friends, And Pam wants a past life reading because she can't seem to think of anything else. I love it. I love it. I love a good past life reading, which, that's our past life deck. But I actually kind of want to start. Specifically, I want to ask specifically past life related for you, Pam. If there is a lifetime or even like a pre-birth time outside this matrix of you planning to come in and what your game plan was to not get trapped in this matrix. Because I want to know for all of us kind of part of that and then like how that life went, how you lived that life. Let's just ask first and foremost, and I'm already getting a big yes, but let's just see what card comes out as far as you knowing that there's a matrix systems here and coming in anyway, deciding to come in anyway. Yeah, there's a big yes, confirmation of a yes. You were female in this life as well. Interesting. This is interesting. And I don't know if this is, because here's something that I've also kind of tuned into lately is the fact that even if we get all these hits on these past lives were lived by someone, obviously, right? They're there. But is it that we tune into a past life because it is part of our soul's actual DNA journey from lifetime to lifetime? Or is this, something we almost like download into our psyche or Akashic records before we come in? I don't know for sure. Could go either way. It could be both. I don't know. But what I'm getting from this is that you were female royalty. And this is, they're showing me, it's Medici, Catherine Medici. Do you know who she is? Again, whether this was a program put into your Akashic records or you actually lived this past life as this Catherine Medici, either way, you're still living from this blueprint of, I'm coming in as this Catherine Medici or with this energy to infiltrate this royal family. And I want to say it was France. No, England. Her son was named Francis, right? If I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, it was Henry VIII that she was married to, wasn't it? I might be completely off on that, but I want to say it is Catherine Medici. I can't remember. His name was, I want to say her husband was Henry. Does anyone know for sure? But anyway, what I'm getting is that you came into that life awakened, meaning hip to the jive of this matrix control. And you actually did work with seers, like, I don't know if it was Nostradamus specifically. In fact, I don't think it was. It was someone after or before. I'm not sure. It wasn't that same time frame as Nostradamus. But then I'm getting a yes. So I don't know if maybe a lot of these seers kind of worked in like groups, but you yourself as Catherine were also, or you were also someone very highly psychic and intuitive and in tune, and you saw like a downfall. And there might have been, let me see, there was something with the way like the system was set up that you came in. Yeah, it's like you infiltrated it and you came in to shift or change something with it or within that. And I want to see now when this was, because I'm getting very clear. Let's see, Catherine Medici. Okay, so this was in 1519. So in that life, you would have been born in Florence, Italy. Oh no, you're fine, Pam. And okay, so let's see. So you married. Yeah, so it was France. It was France. That's what I was. Yeah, Henry II of France. So you were in France. And it's very interesting because isn't there just this like lifetime after lifetime after lifetime I keep getting for you in France as well? So yet again, here you are in France, married or born in Italy, but came to France. So you had Francis II, you had Marguerite, and Charles the Ninth of France. Those were your kids in that life. But what I'm getting is you were very like into the occult, and you knew things about things about things. And the fact that this whole system is basically set up the way it is coming in. Of course, you didn't remember that you knew that coming in, but you like somehow uncovered it while you were here. Medicine bag treasure. Yeah. Yeah. And of course, the Nine of Pentacles. This is someone who lived very luxuriously as well. Massive treasures, massive. Yeah, I'm seeing like unknown artifacts or known artifacts, and I'm seeing now in my mind's eye, like the Library of Alexandria that in Egypt that allegedly burned like way long ago. There were artifacts from that library that shouldn't have like survived, but they survived because they were taken out and given to like something artifact wise was given to you and your like royal bloodline, and something was given to someone else. I see a whole bunch being it's almost like I'm seeing like a copy machine, like carbon copy, like under the Vatican. So everything that So everything that was allegedly lost in the Library of Alexandria, there are copies of it, or maybe even originals in some points, under the Vatican. Wow. What else does Pam need to know about this past life? Italian, yeah. Young female, yeah. Benefactor, literally benefactor. You were given some artifact from that Library of Alexandria that, they said was disappeared, but no. I want to know when that fire was. Because I don't know history enough, but I'm getting what I'm getting, and I want to know. Library of Alexandria fire. When was this? Yeah, I mean, I knew it was well before 15 whatever, but I didn't know exactly when. So it'd have been 48 BC, 48 years before Christ. She was Italian, but married into the French royalty. So she herself, I don't think, had any French within her, but her kids were half French. And I know a lot of those royals that back in the day would, kind of breed within families within families. Wow. Yeah. And you did know you had a lot of knowledge of literal the upper world, the matrix itself, the zodiac put in place. Yeah, if you guys want to watch The Matrix be born, um, go to the myth of Marduk. It says Marduk created the moon because there are even tribes in Native American. I'm not sure which tribes, so don't quote me which tribes. I don't know. That remember a time before the moon was in the sky. The moon is not natural. It should not be there. Wow. Writer and Scribe too came out. So I think part of or some of the artifacts that survived this alleged fire in Alexandria were also given to that family line. Yeah, I don't know why France always comes up for you. Just always, always. A lot of Nordic times though too, like Scottish and like Viking. But a lot of your incarnations do deal with like medicine, like shamanism, medicine man, medicine woman, being a seer, being psychic. Like, yeah, you're all about that life. Yeah, Dreamweaver accessibility. And I think you do access a lot of your Akashic records through your dream state. And of course, your way of processing your dreams, it's going to be through the lens of Pam's lived life experience. It's not going to be maybe exactly as things were back then or back then or back then or over here. We only get this one lens while we're incarnated in one, not everybody, but you might actually be able to expand beyond that. Not everybody can do that. Not many people can do that, but some people can, to where you'll start to see symbolism or maybe even have dreams where you're in a completely different type of civilization. And I would say if you do have dreams like that, you're tuning into either past life or the Akashic records of some kind. So, wow. And in that life, what was the point? I want to see, did Pam's soul make it back out of the Matrix after that life as Catherine Medici? I think you've been in here since. You've been here since. Because this is a very slow, steady, making progress, but not quite there. Yeah. Interesting, because at least at the start of that life, you still could get in or out. But there's something they did. Again, I don't know how long ago it was when they put the moon and all this. I want to say it was around Jesus' time, maybe before, maybe after. I'm not sure. But the moon wasn't there before, and now it is. And how interesting that it's statistically impossible that the moon would be the exact size it is to completely be able to cover the sun, the exact size that it supposedly is. No, there's no way. Talking eclipse wise. But yeah. And even as recently, and I did hear this on Ola's one of the live streams with her, was even up until most recently of the 70s. See, women didn't have to have a period and ovulate once a month and basically be this slave to their hormones most of their lives. You could just be like, I think I'm ready for a soul to come through, and then your body would start to prepare and be ready. You would not have to be this monthly cycle of, that was the moon's doing, and a lot of the moon controlling the feminine that used to belong to Venus. And the planet Venus, I don't know, something about Venus has always really rang true for me. And even in these ancient texts, Venus could not be controlled. She's part of the zodiac wheel, the zodiac system, but she's rogue. She's not under the control that all these other planets are. Um, I just thought it was really cool, really fitting for me personally. So Atmakarka in Vedic astrology, your Atmakarka is the planet that holds the highest degrees in your chart. Well, up until a couple days to a week ago, the moon, I thought, was my highest planet at 26 degrees of Gemini. But once I dialed in my calculation with the Fagan-Bradley ionomsha to get the more accurate reading, that now makes Venus my highest planet with highest degrees. And the planet with your highest degrees is like your soul's reason for incarnating. And I love now that my Atmakarka is something untamed. It's wild west of the zodiac. I love that so much for me. It made me sad for a moment there, not being a Libra ascendant anymore, because again, resonates so deeply with Venus. And then again, made me sad for a moment there, no longer having that exalted Venus in Pisces. But what's better is to have the Atmakarka, the soul significator, the reason I incarnated, has something to do with Venusian things. I love that so much for me. Oh, it was in your last past life read. That is so cool. Oh my goodness. Wow. I could just talk to you guys all night. This is so fun. But I hope that resonated. Yeah, there's something here. I don't know, maybe even just tuning in to see the reason that those artifacts from the Library of Alexandria came up. Maybe you have knowledge that we need. I don't know. It does not include the ascendant. It would be any of the planets minus Rahu or Ketu, aka North Node, South Node. And it also does not include the outer planets. So this would only include the sun, which is the natural Atmakarka, meaning soul significator. It does signify the soul. And again, to me, soul is a matrix construct. So that representation of who you are from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime in the matrix. That's the sun energy. There might even be an aspect of that resides outside the matrix. I'm not sure. I haven't tuned in enough to find out. I'll probably have to do that because I want to know. So the sun, the moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. There's 7 options for Atmakarka. So what you would do if you have picked up that or pulled up that AstroSeek chart of your own, look in that column on the left of your wheel, your zodiac wheel there, and look for the planet that has the highest degrees. Mine is 29. Where'd she go? 29 degrees and 28 minutes. Now of Aquarius, no longer Pisces. I was like less than 1 degree Pisces before. Yeah, mine was the moon before at 26 degrees and something, but now my moon actually bumped down to 25 degrees and 8 minutes. Where in the other system I used, it was at like 26 degrees, 24 minutes or something like that. Yeah. So interesting how this is. Yeah. It's really interesting because I really did resonate with, Atmakarka being moon for me in my chart. But now that I've kind of run the numbers and looked things up, and yeah, if you just go on YouTube and say, for Brandy, her moon is her Atmakarka. Just Google Atmakarka moon. You should be able to find information on what that means for you. Yeah. Usually it has to do with a lot of karmic ties to your mother or the mother's family line, or maybe the mother, more about the mother's side. Yeah, it's interesting. The only planet of mine that stayed in the same house it was before was Venus, and that's only because it moved back a sign. Everything else stayed in the same sign except my ascendant, which of course will move all 12 houses back a notch for me, which felt devastating at first, but the more I learn about it and the more I look into it, it actually makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense. And I'm just over the moon excited that, yes, Pluto is still within less than 1 degree of my ascendant, but now they are in 2 different houses. We all know that my life is a walking dumpster fire though, so that still remains. But now Pluto is in my 2nd house, which does make a lot of sense because every business I've ever built or every job I've ever had, I always will get to this point where everything crashes and burns, and then I have to start all over or do something completely different, or it makes sense why Pluto's where it is. And that also puts destruction to a lot of things of my childhood. My childhood home literally destroyed. My North Node and South Node moved from my 3rd, 9th house axis to my 4th, 10th house axis. Rahu in the 10th house, someone who can never have just one career for her whole life. That's me. But K2 in the 4th house might mean a separation of your, a lot of weirdness going on in your childhood, which yuppers. Yeah. Pluto in 2nd house too, conjunct with Saturn. Oh, yeah. My Saturn moved from my 12th house into my 1st house now, which makes a lot of sense to me, I think, now. And it's no longer with Mars, but I still do feel like my life is 1 foot on the gas, 1 foot on the brake. But it is my Mars and because the way that the equal house system is, it's not like the whole house system where your whole 1st house is a Libra, your whole 2nd house is a Scorpio. You might have overlap to where, like for me, my in this chart, running it this way, we've got Virgo in the 12th house and the 1st house, Libra in the 1st house and the 2nd house, and continuing on and on and on. You've been feeling great lately. Oh, I'm so glad there's very few of us feeling so great these days, but I'm so glad that someone's feeling good. That is awesome, Pam. Yeah, you want to know more every time. That's awesome. Yeah, I know. I just want to know all the things, but I don't want to know the non-truths. I want to know the truth of everything, even if it devastates me for a minute. Because when I ran that chart and realized I was, for the last 7, 8 years now, going off the wrong ascendant, that kind of messes with you for a couple days. It messed with me for a couple days. It really messed me good for a couple days, but I just started looking back into my chart like I knew nothing. And I'm learning a lot about how my chart is laid out. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. That makes even more sense. And this makes where I thought before, wow, Vedic astrology is so accurate. This takes it up, I don't even know how many notches, because everything has shifted. Of course, I still have so many that once resonated, still resonating, because I still have, everything is still in the same sign except my ascendant and my Venus. Everything is in the same sign, just shifted back a house. So much of what I learned about myself before was accurate, but now it's even more accurate. It's so weird. Yeah. I don't know. I definitely want to on Friday. Let me just double check. We don't have any other donations. I don't think we do. We're going to do the giveaway and we're going to do the drawing. So don't go anywhere, guys. I'm just going to double check that we're still good on time. Our donations, we're good on time. Donations, we are caught up. So let's do a giveaway. We got 9 people here. Let's do it. Even if you already got a reading, hey, still get in on this. Let's do it. All right, we're going here. So all you need to do, if you're new to our giveaway portion, your job, your duty now is to guess or use your intuition as to what card am I going to pull out of this deck. Ooh. It's funny because when we were drawing cards for everybody earlier, I saw this card. I'm like, that's my card. And fun fact, this card did not come out for anyone yet today at all. So if you can remember which cards were pulled, maybe don't guess those ones tonight, right now. But I saw this card and I'm like, this is exactly where I'm at right now, energetically. Oh, and we do have a couple 1010s. I did see Jamie put one in earlier, and then Jay McDonald just now. We're going to pull cards for everybody who was not here earlier after our giveaway and our drawing. So don't let me forget to also pull cards for everybody who didn't get one earlier. So we're going to narrow it down. It is a swords card. This is a swords card. So ace all the way through king of swords. And if you were here earlier and know what all I've been going through and where I'm at now, this will make perfect sense as to why I say this is my card. Swords again, I know, right? Pretty much all the last, I don't know how many. I know we did miss last Wednesday and last Friday, but like swords for like probably 2 weeks. Is anyone gonna get it? So close, you guys. So close. Someone's gonna get it. I can guarantee that. All right. I don't see it yet. So close. It's probably the one you haven't guessed. The one you haven't guessed. There it is, Peekali. It's the 4 of swords. Yes, I'm just back in rest and recoup mode now. I'm feeling much better, but just energetically, I feel like I have this garbage bag of just blah over me, you know? But also just really lethargic, and I tire really easily right now. But as far as all the chaos that I went through this past week and a half, I'm feeling much better. Let's put it that way. So Peekali, go ahead and post your question. We'll get right into it. And as she thinks of a question and posts it, we are going to write down whoever wants to be entered into our drawing right there. So put a 888 in the chat and we will get your name down for the drawing. And I'm going to have to cut some new name tags, name slips here. All right. And I'll get the scissors, make this easier on myself. All right. So put an 888 to be entered. And then, of course, everybody who missed the free card pull at the beginning-ish portion, we're going to do that after Peekali's reading and after the drawing winner. We will then pull cards for everybody who did not get one earlier. So if you already got one, you got one. If you didn't get one, you have a chance to get one. So really, if you're here right now, there's 2 more ways to get a reading. Win the drawing, and if you did not get one already, get a reading. Get a free card. Okay. So Peekali, let's write your name down. And I'm going to do it a little different tonight. I'm going to write all the names down and then enter them. That might be quicker. Banana, Anna, S. And Brandy Lynn. Okay, so I got 3 so far. We'll enter these ones. Oh, ads. No, go away. We're not entertaining you tonight. Okay, Peekali, fold it and enter. Banana Anna S, folded and entered. Brandy Lynn, folded and entered. Boom. Anyone else that wants entered into tonight's drawing, put a 888 in the chat. We'll get you in there. Really shake her up here. Okay. I think Pam is behind the times. That's okay. Here we go. Winner chicken dinner is, it's a skinny little one, Marlene. Definitely not from tonight. So Marlene, we're going to get Marlene a reading. So Peekali, go ahead and post your question. And of course, if anyone else enters between now and the end of the live stream, I will enter you in. You will not win tonight, but you will still be entered if you show up late or see it late. Okay. So move my little tags away. And Peekali won the drawing, or sorry, giveaway. Oh, my ear just popped. I can hear. Still have this really weird wah, 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 wah sinus pressure going on. That's what it sounds like in my head. It's like, oh, like those weird frequencies, man. That was I for like I don't know how long, an hour, 2 hours. I just wanted to laugh hysterically. The fact that even someone who lives under a rock would realize they were being targeted or hurt on purpose by the level that I was getting on at one point during this illness. I was just like, really? You're pulling all the stops out. Let's get Pam on a slip of paper for the drawing. We already pulled the winner, but I will still enter you. Oh, did Brandy win? Oh my goodness. Am I just thick here? Oh, let's see. Oh, well, let's give it to both of you because Brandy, Lynn, you won way up there and I didn't even see it. Thank you, Peekly, though, for that. Because you were honest, I'm going to give you both the reading. Well, each your own reading. You know what I mean. So, Brandy Lynn, post a question. Peekly, post a question. And, of course, we have Marlene. And then anybody who's watching right now that did not get a card with the 1010 code word poll at the beginning of the live stream, I will honor that when we're done with this little section. How's that sound? And, of course, we're still taking donations if anyone is interested in that as well. Oh, you're giving it anyway. You just want to balance the scales. Oh, that's so sweet. How sweet. Well, let's just see if there's anything Brandy Lynn needs to know. Call it her need to be right. Aw. Oh, I like this. There's like this. It's interesting because I heard one-upsmanship, but that's not like the game you're playing. So there might have been a wrong, something where you felt like there were no winners, Brandy Lynn, that you're coming out on top. So this could be something from years ago. Like this could be just anything that's coming to your awareness or your intuition. And if nothing's coming to you right now, this might kind of occur to you randomly later. Like some wrong that happened where there were no winners. It's like you're coming out on top, or you're now seeing the reason that had to happen. Or if that horrible whatever didn't happen, you wouldn't have had this other great thing happen. I don't know. There's like a balancing of scales, like you were saying here. To something from the past where it's interesting because there might even been some sort of bullying situation from your past to where now, like you've overcome something that even things people have said to you in the past, like just don't mean anything anymore. Like it just doesn't matter anymore. It could be as simple as that. All right. So Pika Lee wants to know how to elevate herself. All right, tuning into Pika Lee's true spirit, how to elevate herself. Ooh, 9 of Swords. So you're overcoming. Yeah, you're definitely being, we're all definitely being targeted by, a lot going on. But you're overcoming it. And the best way you can elevate yourself is to have a really good bedtime routine or like night routine. Make sure you're taking the most care of yourself, especially at night. And this is something that you can do to protect yourself like crazy, and this works so well. I completely like lost my own head during this illness sickness that I didn't do it even once, except that first night I was sick because I was still very in the process of doing this every night. Is what you would do is, when you get into bed, especially all lights out and you're ready to drift off to sleep, I would connect to your true spirit and put this protection around your consciousness, your spirit, as you sleep, to where your true spirit is in charge of your spirit overnight, right? And your physical body is safe and everything overnight. And one of the ways that you can do that is with, of course, setting that intention. And I would like put myself in this like golden white bubble of light. And then I'd step into another golden white bubble of light. And then, to not be outdone, step into a third golden white bubble of light. And I almost envision this golden white bubble of light to have like almost like amniotic fluid within it. Like you're completely putting yourself in this very comforting womb space where nothing that has any intent to do you harm is going to get to you. So do that. And then you could put other protections around that. And one thing I found very healing and protective, and one symbol that a lot of these dark forces around this planet have completely taken this symbol over, is the pyramid or the triangle. And again, you can make this a black pyramid. You can make it golden white light. To me, golden white, not just golden, not just white, but gold and white combined, is very powerful, and it's been worked very well for me. But put that pyramid over you, under the protection of your own spirit and the original source creator, or the divine, or whatever you call that. Not matrix gods, but be way beyond. And that will help cut down on almost everything that you could experience in the astral, or wherever it is you're going when you're sleeping. But also making sure you're cutting screens off a certain time before bed, and just doing the most for yourself, specifically around bedtime. But anything else that needs to come out, take care. Ooh, yes. Be done with the moon. Be done with the moon. See through the illusion that the moon has created over this matrix system, and tune back instead into your own true spirit. Yeah. It's almost like the B and J, the Boaz, and always forget what the J means. I know B is the Boaz, but they almost remind me of like prison bars, or I don't know, something like that. Like the Twin Towers or something. But it's like you have the truth within you. The truth is within you, and even if there is this matrix prison system around you, you can overcome it in ways. So just be done with the moon. And something I'm going to be working on personally is just taking my own, gander around my place. I mean, I have a crescent moon shelf over there on the wall. I got moons for days all over. I mean, every card I have probably has a moon on it, but I'm going to do my best around here to cut down on a lot of the moon symbols. I mean, I even have a moon light. It's like I'll show you. It's caught up in the Kraken. It's all caught up in my octopus back there. Like, it's literally the moon sitting there judging me from above. Like, I have some things to get rid of here, but we will leave that for another declutter day. Yeah, that could help. Or even just deciding to reclaim the symbolism of the moon. That might be an easier way to go about it. To reclaim it for yourself as a power symbol, or a just neutral symbol, or what have you, could really benefit, because so many people are just subconsciously programmed. And I always wondered why so many songs talk or sing about the moon, why so many movies, like they'll just pan to a shot of the moon randomly. This is not by coincidence. This is not by mistake. It's reminding us how we got in here in the first place, and how we need to avoid so we can get out of here. I don't know. It's a very interesting and very side topic. But if you watch some of Ola Wolny's, live streams, she'll start to spell it out in ways that are much plainer than I have done. Better ways, easier ways. Reclaim your feminine power from the moon, because the moon has hijacked the feminine power of the original feminine power, which was Venus, Earth's twin sister. Anyway, Marlene has won our giveaway, our drawing. So 22748. And I haven't seen Marlene in a hot minute, but okay. Marlene has won. Okay, so Marlene, you've won our drawing tonight. Let's see what Marlene needs to know right now, whatever it is that she's stumbling upon this. Ooh, a 10 of Pentacles. So like good times with family. This could even be like inheritance. This is like maybe even multi-generational kind of family reunion vibes, or something you're doing to celebrate someone in the family. Party. Stuff around the home as well. Some things going on around the home. Maybe spending money on the home to upgrade something. Just saw a dishwasher. I don't know if that's literal or kind of more figuratively represented. We also have the strength card. So this is about maybe even finding this like peace at home that's maybe been eluding you. So this sense of inner peace is coming to you by way of maybe making shifts or changes around the home, cleansing the energy of the home, maybe purging, decluttering, upgrading, updating the home. I don't know if you're preparing for an event at the home, but yeah. Oh, skip ads again. Skip them, skip them. Yeah, some upgrades you're making. And of course, the home that we take everywhere we go, even if we move from one house to another, is our physical body. That's another home. So maybe there's some upgrades you're doing to your body, haircut, getting your nails did, new wardrobe, new skincare routine. I don't know, something you're doing to upgrade the physical body as well. All right, Marlene, I hope that resonated for you. Oh, itchy face. All right, so everybody who missed earlier, and by earlier, I mean when we pulled the free one card at the beginning. If you're here now, you're hearing me now, before we go, because we're going to go soon, put a 1010 in the chat. Put a 1010. And I will pull a card for you if you did not get one at the top of the live stream earlier when everyone else got one. Pam. Card from Pam's True Spirit. Ooh, so you're working hard on something. Something you're working diligently on. Again, this could be something you're like going down a rabbit hole with, or just gaining all this information or wisdom about, and you're putting this wisdom into practice eventually. So if you didn't already put something into practice, it might be you're still learning stuff about this thing, but you will put it into practice when it's time. When the time is right. I did see Jamie earlier. Jamie, are you still here? She did put a 1010 earlier, so let's honor that. Judgment. Like shattering levels. Like we can even call this the rude awakening from the awakening, or the rude awakening of the rude awakening from the rude awakening. There's many levels and layers to this. So you're learning the truth of something, or you're rising from a past version of yourself, Jamie, as well. So Jay McDonald, let's get Jay McDonald a card. I hope she's here to hear this. I saw your 1010 earlier. Jay McDonald, let's get her card. Ooh, we have the Two of Swords. You might be confused or trying to decide between two things. Usually when I get the Two of Swords, I pull a second card to clarify what this confusion might be about. Interesting. As above, so below is what I'm hearing. So it might be even just questioning the nature of reality, the matrix construct, your birth chart. Just wondering, what birth chart to go to. If you're wondering that, at the very least, I have the most accurate information, at least I can personally give anybody, is to do the Fagan Bradley Ayanamsha. Go to astroseek.com. Run your chart if you have your birth information. Choose the Fagan Bradley. And I walked everyone through this at the beginning, not the very beginning, but at some point more toward the beginning of the live stream. I walked everyone through that website on how to calculate that. If you're wanting to calculate your most accurate birth chart, following the Babylonian system, which the closest thing we have in a system online would be the Fagan Bradley system. That's the closest to Hellenistic or Babylonian, Sumerian astrology that we can get. And that's when around the time this matrix put in, was around the fall of Babylon, around then. This specific matrix, I think there were matrices of sorts put on this planet well before that, but this current system we're in wasn't put in until around then. So yeah, which was a hot minute ago at this point. But anything else for Jay McDonald? Yeah. Again, maybe you're working diligently or putting some new information into practice, into something old, or toward a project, or just continuing to make plans on something and put effort in, but maybe it's not quite time to launch an idea or fully take action on something. but you're really putting the effort and work in behind the scenes. So hopefully she saw that. All right, you guys, I've talked more in the last 2.5 hours than I have probably all week and a half, in a week and a half. So I'm going to go rest my throat. I do have my pineapple juice here to help with my throat. It doesn't hurt, but it is a little raw just from talking so much when I haven't been talking so much recently. So I'm going to go. But this was fun. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, and sorry for the crazy train that this was earlier, especially. Hopefully we were all caught up onto the same page now. And on Friday, we're going to go into how everything being so already predestined and going to happen and plotted and planned out by this matrix system, how that allows tarot to work. And not only that, of course, this is just going to be telling you what the matrix has planned for you, but also we do have that spark of our true spirit in there. And I will like to always align my readings with that spark of true spirit that was within each and every one of us, to get the most accurate information for our true spirit, not so much just for what the matrix has planned, but what our spirit wants to accomplish here. And I don't know any other reader that does it that way, or that, many probably don't even have the knowledge that we should set that intention that way. I don't even know. But all of you that read your own cards, now you know, and now you can do that for yourself and tune into the most realistic and out of the matrix information for yourself as you possibly can get. Because I do know that once we know better, we can do better. Once we're aware of certain controls or things on this planet, it's almost like that control starts to lessen. But they're not gonna just let you go willy-nilly. They will fight to keep you as enmeshed and entrenched in the system as they can, obviously. But doesn't mean we need to just go down without a fight or give up or, whatever. It's about us tuning into that true spirit part of ourselves that exists outside this matrix, that is limitless and boundless, that could never be contained. And tune into that and let that be our guiding light. And another thing about astrology is both Western and Vedic or sidereal astrology does demonize the North Node and South Node, the Rahu, the Ketu. And in the original legend or Veda of Rahu, Ketu, once being this dragon or demon or whatever, was cut in half, and now is forced to forever suffer. Always exactly opposite, because they could never be separated, though they are now separated. I actually see them, and I always have. That's the weird thing, is I've always wanted to do right by my North Node and South Node, even though a lot of astrologers say, the North Node is like where you're supposed to be going in this life, but it's about desires and whims and blah, blah, blah. No. It's about you finding your way back to your spirit, or as far back to your spirit in the matrix as we can get, and then to get ourselves out of here. That's my thought. And then, of course, Venus in the chart is that rogue planet that is going to be pure and untainted spirit. Is another good place you can look how you're here to tune into your spirit and how to get yourself out of here. And I don't think it's just about escaping the matrix. I think it's about, what's the word? I just had it and it just slipped way out. Not rejuvenating, not the words are hard, especially this late at night after I've been sick for so long. I will be back here at 11 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. I'm like standard, no daylight, on Friday. Reviving. Is that the word I'm looking for? Like a revival. Yeah, that's exactly it. I knew it was an R word. Something or something. And this is the thing. This is another huge download that came to me, those of you that are still here. It's not about this new earth, and it's funny because, during the fever dream of the fever days that I had, new earth equals new world order. new agenda, new matrix. Don't go that way. We're not going into anything new here. We are just returning to the ways of old. And by ways of old, I don't mean, the 1890s and the, way our grandparents did it. I don't mean that at all. I mean before this matrix was put into place. Just returning to the original blueprint of this planet, the original way things were supposed to be. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. We're just going back to the original wheel. So New Earth, anyone touting New Earth or talking about New Earth, they don't think they get it. I don't think they understand what's actually trying to do. I think, much like me back in the day, I was like, New Earth, awesome. Yeah, let's get out of this matrix. New Earth is just new matrix. There's nothing new about where we're trying to return to. We're trying to return to the old ways of the original blueprint of this planet. Yeah. At least that's my thought. I might be completely wrong. Wouldn't be the first time, right? But I just think, like, the New Age specifically is so set up to just usher, like, into the cattle chute. All of us newly awakened people, whenever it is we awaken, usher us right to all the answers we ever could have wanted. And we think, I've tapped in, I've discovered everything. Now I know everything. Oh, Amanda of 2016, how wrong you were about so many things. But hey, at least that spark of spirit was there to keep guiding her. If only that stupid Archangel Michael was not there at that gates of my awakening there, I would, because you assume this angelish character here to help me, guide me, love me, protect me. Oh, how wrong was I? Oh. Yeah, lived and learned a lot too, Ross. Right. So I can, not ever beat that past version of me up, or any of us past versions of it. We need to give ourselves grace because we definitely have to start somewhere. And even back then, just jumping from one version of reality to another was almost like crazy making back then. So if I were to discover at least the truth as far as I've made it as of right now, back then, that probably would have put me in the psych ward, probably. Because who would believe? I mean, let's go back to 1996 when, I've always been hip to the jive of, the programming and the control and the, government experimental things they do to people. And like, I've known that the government is not our friends for a very long time. And I've known I had a spirit, and I've known there's something beyond this world for a very long time, but I just didn't. I mean, I probably still don't know. I don't think any of us quite knows when we die, if anything's even a guarantee. Like, we don't know. We don't know. Could be like Westworld out there, completely mind wiped and put back in the game, But I've always known certain things, and that something was just not quite right here. How can this be such a lovely, beautiful place? And there always have been war, like from day one, allegedly, just war upon war upon war, upon killing upon war. And me as this, especially child, when I was a child, just ever thinking that it would ever cross my mind to hurt someone in such a way that they are no longer with us. Like, that's not a human spirit response to this. Yes, it's a dark world in ways, but that's not a true spirit human response to unalive somebody. It's just not. That's just not how the human spirit is designed. So the people that can do that either A, are very heavily hijacked and are not in their true spirit in any given moment, or they don't have a true spirit to begin with. Just so crazy to, so many people get it from a very young age, but they're never these people that are put in power. They're never these people that, get much of a pedestal to stand on to shout from the rooftops. Or maybe they have enough of the truth, or they have some of the truth, but they're still deceived enough by these systems or these entities that they will give them a platform because they're speaking enough truth to get people reeled in, but not enough truth to get them to exit the game, you know? So there are those spiritual warriors out there that are, soapboxing and leading so many people astray that eventually at some point will awaken further and get it, and then hopefully use that huge platform they have to then start pedaling back. Like, no, 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 this is not the way. It's this, or, and again, I'll always be the first one to raise my hand and say I was wrong, because I can't not do that, Yes, we got through the distraction. Yeah, hero's journey, exactly. And I think there's a reason that that hero's journey resonates so deeply within our human spirit. It just is. It just does. Because there's so much truth in that. Yeah, people who aren't in their true spirit will be channeled by people like you, and we will return home. Hero's journey reference again. I'm teaching the Odyssey through. Oh, that's awesome. Is that? I'm trying to remember back. Is the Odyssey? Is that Homer or is that the Iliad? Oh my gosh, I need to brush up. Like I was going down rabbit holes with like Zeus and oh, guys, let me tell you this. This is crazy. 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 This will maybe blow your mind. Maybe not. I don't know. Back to the point of I was making of everything was a sign, everything was a symbol, everything was interconnected with everything else in my fever dream of getting all this downloaded information about my what I'm calling Project Cult, which is like the prequel book. Although I would not read it first in the order of my series, it's probably more book 3 or the third book in the series I would read, or actually the fourth book. And then what I'm now calling book 3.5, which is solidly becoming book 4, will then be book 5 to read, blah, blah, blah. Oh, Iliad. Oh, okay, epic hero prequel. Okay, gotcha. Okay. It's been a long time since I've learned anything about that, and I've forgotten most of it, if not all of it. Anyway, total rabbit holes, total like mind-blowing information. So I have this prequel kind of vibe going on called Project Cult that is taking place in 1971 to 74. I gotta nail down the timeline. But Lily, who is my main character's aunt in the main series, it's her book. It's her story. So we're following her, and so her dad. I'll just kind of give you a kind of crash course of just a little bit, not to really spoil anything. So her dad passes away in Vietnam, and her mom was very distraught after the loss of her dad, and it's just now her mom and Lily left, and Lily's mom, again, because these forces are working in my book as well as they work through the Matrix and everything. They find Lily's mom in a grief group and bring her in. They tell her about this commune that they've started, and they reel her in. So Lily basically and her mom move into this cult, and they call it oh gosh, what did I call it? It's written in my notes, so we don't have to go into detail, but they call it your arrival. Even if you've been there for a while, there's a new naming ceremony in this cult. And this is taking place, early to mid 70s. So think that time frame. There were a lot of cults popping up everywhere back in those days. But anyway, so they give you your arrival ceremony, even if you've been there a while, where the cult leader, I don't have a name for him yet. We'll just call him Fred for the sake of this. Watch that probably be his final name. Wouldn't that be crazy? Just kidding. It's probably not. So Fred renames Lily Oleander. And they have all these natural, it's very love and lighty, it's very new agey kind of cult. But then they start, people start disappearing, and, crazy things start happening. And then there's these frequencies that get played on the loudspeaker. And then, all of a sudden, We have to burn all the books. We have to burn all the records. So little by little, systematically, things keep getting taken away from these people in the cult. They don't know they're in a cult, though, obviously. No one in a cult originally knows they're in a cult until it's too late, usually. But anyway, uh, at the arrival ceremony and the renaming, this cult leader is the one in charge of naming people, and he wants to take a wife. So he's going to take this wife named, and Lily's friends all get named names like Jimerson and uh, Belladonna, Oleander, Nicotinia, which are all like, it came to my mind that I wanted to name the core group of teenagers that's trying to take down the cult or take down the system after like nightshades. Nightshades are, like tomatoes are a nightshade. There's lots of nightshades, but they're, can be toxic or poisonous to humans. And I'm like, maybe I can name one of them Mandrake, just trying to like shoehorn things in. I didn't eventually name anyone Mandrake, but basically that the cult leader named them poisonous to human names almost as an afterthought. But no, he did it very calculatedly. Anyway, so this core group of friends, one of them dies. They find another one hanging in the woods. They see that there's these creepy rituals going on. They're using the kids that they're trying to get out. Even though they're told not to go in the woods, Lily, the main character in this book, feels much more comfort in the woods than she does here. But then there's, they see all this craziness going on in the woods as well. And eventually, spoiler alert, Lily does get out, obviously, because she wouldn't be able to carry on. So she single-handedly, with her group of a couple friends, of course, they kind of start dropping like flies here and there, used for sacrificial purposes. And let's just say, and this is probably the only place you'll ever hear me say this, let's just say, maybe I shouldn't say it. I'm not going to say it. I don't want to spoil the whole series. No, I won't say it. But some of these characters that die may cycle back around because, past lives. We'll just say some characters in the series had past lives in the main. Yeah, it'll make sense. But wow. And I had been struggling to find out a lot of stuff about this series that just busted wide open while I was sick. And even leading up to me getting sick, I was finding out too much. They had to bring me down. But yeah, lots of craziness. This cult, spoiler alert, obviously the cult didn't get dismantled and die when we thought it did, or there wouldn't be a whole series that's, yeah. So stay tuned. So we'll jump from that cult book, which again, we're not reading the cult book first. Obviously it's not even written yet, but in the grand scheme, we've got book 1 called Melancholy Dreams, book 2, Melancholy Dreams, book 2 so far, Melancholy something, and then book 3, and then the cult book, and then, carry on. So the cult book will be the one-off that you would read in the series, and then this other spin-off companion thing that doesn't have anything to do with the cult, or does it? Probably does. I'll circle back, but that would be the one you read after all the rest of the series. And that's taking place in 78. So those 2 books would be they're still relevant to the main series in ways, but I would say, though, if you didn't read Lily's book and just read the whole series through, I would still give enough information throughout that and refer back to the cult enough that you would be able to piece it together. But it'd just be better if you read, in the order. That's why I always hope, skip ads. I always hope that when there's a big series and like companions and spinoffs, that the author themselves gets involved and says, this is the recommended reading order. Because I've read things out of order before and it's really made me sad. Oh, number one fangirl already. Oh, I'm so excited. Yeah, so much got busted wide open. But anyway, I digress. Um, Going back to all this Chaldean numerology and trying to decipher things, I actually typed in, I went to like, if you play like words like Scrabble or any of those, if you have like a list of letters and then you unscramble the letters. And again, I can thank 21 Pilots for getting me going on this because this is what Tyler Joseph has been doing with his lore. And Scaled and Icy is an anagram of Clancy is dead. So anyway, I took my own name, Amanda Sue Kiefer, my birth name, what I was born with, the one on your gift certificate. I don't know if it was a gift, but yeah. Anyway, this will be a series for sure. Oh, like my ninth graders handwriting. um, yeah, right. You want to like try to decode it. I learned a lot about my sister at first when I came across gematria. Right, there's so much you can learn. And Chaldean numerology. I actually ran. This is crazy. Oh, we'll get into this too because I want to tell you guys before we go. This is just hangout time. We're just having fun now. Not that we weren't before. I totally was. But anyway, I put my name into just like a word scrambler or word unscrambler. And the top hit, I think, was either 9 or 11 letters of my name. You're going to laugh. The top result for the most use of my letters in my name was mandrakes. I'm like, nightshades. They're, Mandrake is a nightshade. And I am hearing as well, I've never read Harry Potter, but it's in the Harry Potter lore. But here's a crazy thing. There's something about my frequency, and I've known this for a long time, just tuning in when I do meditations and stuff, that is like, put your hands over your ears and just hope it goes away. My frequency does that to the Matrix. They're like, why is she here? Like, as much as they're sending me frequencies, I'm sending them frequencies as well. So, like, two can play that game. I've just intuitively known that the Matrix does not really want me here, but because I'm here, they're going to put me through the ringer. But the crazy thing about this is, let me get to it. Okay, so it was really weird because earlier in this night when I discovered this, I was talking to my mom and I had this download come to me of a memory when I was 2. Couldn't have been more than 3. And I was spinning in circles very slowly, listening to music. And I knew it was Neil Diamond, but I couldn't pull the song out of my head. And I was crying because the song just moved me. And I texted my mom that. And I'm like, I don't know why I'm getting this download. And, that led me down this huge rabbit hole of like concerts that she went to when she was pregnant with me and all sorts of stuff. But it turns out it's from the Jazz Singer movie soundtrack, Neil Diamond, Love on the Rocks. And I went through, because I remembered it was on the same record. It was an 8-track, let's be honest. It was on the same 8-track as the song Coming to America by Neil Diamond. So I went through the playlist, and when I got to song 5, I think it was, I just got massive chills. I mean, of course, I was in chill mode because like chills, like body chills when you're sick. Mandrake, right. It's gotta be a comic relief character. Anyway, so I listened to that song again, and that was it. That was the song. And I could just see myself like this little 2-year-old girl crying because the music was so like moving. Anyway, later that night, I'm looking up mandrake, like what's it mean? I found this Harry Potter thing. It says, so mandrakes or mandragora are magical plants resembling crying babies initially, which again, I was a crying baby in that like memory, which have incredible restorative powers used in the creation of restorative draughts, which cures petrification. They are only effective in their mature form. Yeah. And I was so not effective against this matrix in my not mature form. But anyway, continue. As mandrakes grow older, they become teenagers and exhibit human behavior such as throwing parties. But be warned, as they mature, their cries become fatal. So as long as someone is wearing earmuffs when waking mandrakes, they're really rather useful. Um, but that's so weird because I've always had um, this when I tune into my energy in this matrix, it's like the matrix itself is like, I can't. This is too much. Like this is not a good look for us. But the weird thing is, so I even Googled just mandrake plant spiritual meaning. In the past, mandrake was all skip ads. Mandrake was often made into amulets, which were believed to bring good fortune, cure sterility, etc. In one superstition, people who pulled up the root will be condemned to hell. And the mandrake root would scream and cry as it was pulled from the ground, killing anyone who heard it. But I would say that frequency that I would emit, screaming my truth out, will not hurt those of a true spirit, just the falses, right? The false identities, the falsehoods. So we're seeing this in a good light. And then, so yes, mandrake being something buried, something beneath the ground, right? And then I went to another thing you can look up to really get a handle on who you are is your Mayan astrology. Did you know there was such a thing? You just go to Mayan astrology calculator. And one of my things is a seed. So I'm a serpent, a seed, and a cycle 2 on the Mayan astrology. And then I went to the Chaldean numerology to type in my name to get my like soul urge or personality number. And I saw Ola Wolney do this on Logan from Decode the Matrix's when she was doing his birth chart. She went, or he actually went and did like his name and then found his my name and entered all together was the number 57. So you go to the Royal Periodic table of elements and find the number 57 or whatever your name. And this is like coding for what you're doing here or what you're here to do. So the number 57 on the periodic chart, there it is. It's lanthanum, I think. But so we'll click. Oops, I'll do it better this way. Okay, remember, mandrake buried below Mayan astrology. I'm a seed. So lanthanium. The name is derived from the Greek lanthanine, meaning to lie hidden. There it is, to lie hidden. I mean, I know they see me, obviously. They know I'm here, but you can't make this stuff up. So maybe the Matrix has a sense of humor, but so does Spirit. Spirit has a great sense of humor. So, oh my gosh, you guys. So look up your full name. Just go to let's see, Chaldean calculator. And if you start to see overlaps with again, all this like nightshade business really came to me about 5 days before I discovered my name. You know, the Enneagram of a bunch of the letters of my name, mandrakes. Let's see. But yeah. And some of those word scrambles can only take so many letters. So if you've got a really long name, you might have to do it in sections or just find one that takes all your letters. And you could have hundreds of different names or words that are spelled out with your full name. So astronlogia, is that where it went? Okay. So this is astronlogia. You see that there? So just say, type in my name, Amanda Sue Kiefer. Calculate. Where does it jump to? So many ads. Can't close the ads. Go away, ads. Okay, so number is 57. I don't know. If you guys, I just got an idea. We should have Ola on the live stream. We should have her come here. She likes doing live streams for people. So we should have her here. Ooh, Pam is 52. Let's look up 52 on the periodic. That adds up to a 7, obviously. But let's look up the periodic, royal periodic. 52. Oops, I went to the wrong site. Royal periodic. I swear I can type. Okay, here we are. So 52 is Pam. She is TE. Is that tellurium? Tellurium. Aw, the name is derived from the Latin tellus, meaning earth. Untainted earth is what I'm hearing. So this must be, you have a deep connection to the original blueprint of this planet. That's amazing. And allegedly, I'm buried beneath it, into the earth, to lie hidden. Too funny. Wow. Yeah, and then Mayan astrology, another thing to look into. But I think you guys, I think we could all benefit if I maybe reached out to Ola and see if she wanted to come on. I want to think of some really great questions to ask her. I think that would be really cool. Really cool. I know I'm not one of those live streams where, we have a bunch of guests on and stuff, but I don't think it would hurt. In fact, it might help someone. I might reach out. I don't know. What do you guys think? I kind of want to. I should probably go, though. I've taken enough of your time. Oh, this was so fun, though. Oh, after the week and a half I had, this was exactly what I needed. Oh, so many good downloads, so many good intuitions, so many good epiphanies. But at the same time, oh, you would be quiet. Sounds cool. Yeah. And most likely I would do it on Zoom, just like off camera, and then set it as a premiere to where we could all be there to like interact in the comments as it's playing. So I would probably need any questions you guys wanted to know from her in advance. Because that's, I think, how she does most of them is like on Zoom, and then the person can upload it wherever. Oh, you're on the Mayan thing. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a serpent, cycle 2, and seed. And I don't remember the different, there's like 3 different things it calculates for you. The cycles, I think, go from 1 to 13. And I think the like serpent, there's like serpent, dog, monkey, something else. There's seed, light, something else. So it's like an animal, a cycle number between 1 and 13, and a element like a seed or light, whatever else. I always forget. But yeah, if you want to share what yours are, Pam, before we go, that'd be cool. But yeah, I think just finding out as much as you can about the blueprint that's in place. And this is the thing about the Matrix. It continues to copy and overdo itself. Oh, crocodile. Cool. I'm a serpent. I'm a snake. I guess, though, in Mayan stuff, like serpents and snakes are like all about healing and psychic powers and magical abilities and stuff like that, which is cool. It's better than it being something bad, Because I'm like, who wants to be a serpent? Not me. But actually, what it means is pretty cool. So I wasn't too sad about what it meant. But just like, oh, I'm a serpent. Because like I'm a dog in Chinese astrology, and there's a dog in Mayan astrology. So I just thought in my mind, like, oh, I'll probably be a dog because I'm a dog in the other. But no. Oh, your wind with the significance of justice fitting. Oh, that's so cool. I love that. Oh, your Trikana Earth. Oh, and didn't your thing say Earth? Tellurium? Tellurium? However you say that. See? Connections and dots are being made. Look at this. So you can uncover your blueprint here by just doing this research in this direction, kind of putting the pieces together. I don't know. I kind of thought it would be cool to kind of shift the way, my mentor's stuff isn't working out anymore. My, even just doing readings for people this way isn't really working out for me anymore. To instead maybe uncover people's codes. I'll do the heavy lifting. I'll figure out all your birth information and your, your Babylonian astrology, Mayan astrology, your, different numerologies and put it all together for you. I think that'd be cool. But what better thing to learn than about exactly what the Matrix told you were going to be when you incarnated, and also your spirit's say and significance within that blueprint as well. I don't think there's any more valuable information any of us can know in this whole world except that. I think that's super valuable. And as far as I know, Ola kind of does that, or mostly she does that, her readings in that way. I mean, I don't want to like completely copy what she's doing, but I've been doing charts and readings and numerology and all this, that for people here and there, one off. Why not combine it all together, It seems more beneficial, But that's the thing. There's astrologers aplenty. There's tarot readers aplenty. I mean, we all can do it, even if we're doing something seemingly exactly like someone else, we're all doing things with our own kind of essence or code within that as well. So, I mean, I would say the more the merrier, people out here doing the Lord's work, Oh, let's skip ads. Oh, darn ads. Anyway, it's after 9 o'clock. I probably should go get some good rest, get my kids off to school in the morning. Hopefully Wrigley goes for the first time this week, even though it's going to be a very short day at 11. But I will be back here Friday. Energy of crocodile is wild and raw, just like the animal it symbolized. This energy is mostly in pure form, probably not tamed at all on the level of the mind. It can manifest as a something. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense though for, you being a teacher though. And that's something that I am. It's just such a mental creature. Not like mental, what I'm saying. Like I'm very cerebral with things. I need to get more into the feeling and knowing of things. But so much of my just chart and information is just me wanting to know all the things about all the things because I want to. Like that is such a quest for me, is just knowing as much as I can about as much as I can. But not just wanting to know things for sake of knowing things. I want to get to the truth, the deepest, most raw and crucial truth. That's what I'm on the hunt for at all times. Purely instinctive and sometimes even a little bit crazy. Your friends might define you as unusual. Dude, that sounds so like me. But serpents and crocodiles, we've got the scales going on. Maybe there's something in that. Yeah, mine was all about, let me see. Let me read what the Mayan serpent. Let's see. Plumed serpent. Let's see. I should probably type meaning. Okay. Okay, I guess astrology would probably be what I need to put in so it knows what I'm talking about. If I could spell correctly. Just the clip here, or the little. If you are the serpent sign, you have a strong body and mind, charisma, and intense eyes. Some people even say that the Mayan people are scared of the snake people, and it's probably because of this intense energy that you have. Again, the Matrix is like this to my energy. Like they I'm here, but I guess there's nothing they can do about it. I'm here. I get it. Let's see. Okay, so symbolizes feathered serpent as a manifestation of the energy within the body called koyopa. Koyopa literally means lightning. If you are speaking to a campesino with no interest in ancient ways, he is probably referring to actual lightning in the sky. But if you are speaking to a daykeeper, he's probably talking about the inner lightning. Okay. Inner lightning is perceived as a serpent. Bolts of lightning are serpents in the sky. Oh, and it's interesting too. That helps me uncode something that I learned as well. They call them seraphs, like these dragon kind of lightning sky serpents. But in the Bible, they're called the seraphim or seraphim. So really, angels from the Bible technically are like sky serpents or dragons. They're not like a man in a robe with wings. Like, yeah, I encoded that this weekend or week and a half. I was like, whoa, mind blown. Yeah, dreams can be very lucid. You might receive some guidance through them. Yeah, I get a lot of guidance. Oh, yeah, that's the crocodile. I get so much guidance in my dreams as well. It's crazy. Let's see. So they call the serpent the koyopa. Um, so people born near the beginning of the 20th century told her that girls ought to not stare at the lightning because of the affinity between women and lightning was so intense and overly sensitive individuals could easily fall out of balance. The koyopa is also a messenger. It sends us signals by causing a trembling in one of the 13 major joints in the body. Often, this trembling comes to daykeepers as they perform the divination ritual, which means a special message is coming to them from the ancient gods. Wow, because when I was having all that pain, I had spine specifically. It started in my spine, all the way from like that place at the back of my head that I was talking about on that maybe one of the last live streams we had before I got sick and it all went downhill, all the way down to my tailbone. I felt almost like electric shock pain in my spine. But wow, yeah, serpent. If you are the serpent sign, you have a strong body, mind, charisma, and intense eyes. Some people may even say that Mayan people are scared of the snake people because of this intense energy that you have. Mayans call it koyopa, but in Indian tradition, we call it the kundalini. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I've had that happen, that's for sure. Energy that sits at the base of the chakra system of the Muladhara chakra. This energy awakens in a serpent person. It is activated and you can feel the energy strongly. I felt it on and popping during this illness. It was intense. If you're a serpent sign, going into Kundalini will help you understand this force of energy much better. Yeah, I want to know more about the traits. Let's see. Mayan astrology. Serpent traits. Let's see. Ancient serpent wisdom. Come on, show me what I'm looking for. Mayan's name and meaning. Okay, sign and meaning. Okay, here we go. So, serpent, personality, stable at extreme ends, powerful and charismatic. They have personal feelings and emotions that affect others deeply. According to the Mayan people born on the day of the snake, carry a very high spiritual potential and can easily be a psychic or spiritual healer. Considering the snake as the equivalent of Kundalini in Hinduism and yoga, a double snake symbol, which has a medical, pharmaceutical use, comes to mind easily. Their connections with the other realms are said to be very powerful and they have magical powers. It also gives them a very subtle wisdom. They have a wisdom beyond these contradictions. It is neither good or bad. Nevertheless, there is a difficulty faced by snake people. It is the orthodox usage of this power. Hindu teachers especially underline that there might be both constructive and destructive qualities of Kundalini. Snake's anger is very high, and sorrow does not recognize the border. Oh God, is that true? Energy they have been related with sexually, and therefore also carry the risk of being a slave to their desires. Thankfully, I don't have that issue. Thankfully, people born on this day of the snake is to have control over these internal forces. The most equivalent or convenient way to achieve this is to focus on the sensation of compassion and develop compassion for others. Movement and creation of time, sensual and dramatic. This sign includes intense instinctual wisdom and creates a connection between the celestial aspirations with the world. Born in the bush, snake always noticeable, but generally little is known about them. Leadership comes naturally, physically and mentally strong, and stressful conditions are sufficient in themselves more easily than other people. Oh, good people fail to nurture. This is a common weakness for them via sincere service to others. Snakes open their hearts and expand. Snakes are aligning authority and truth, and it brings justice quickly and precisely. Snakes are very adaptable. They are are fluid until even trapped in a corner, they explode when they're cornered. Snake's big, feisty temper, oppressive, and even destructive behavior poisons the others as themselves. Thankfully, I'm not pushed to that brink that often, but I felt like it during this, and I come out swinging against these attacks. I was like, oh, I see you giving me these attacks and these frequencies and this shutting my computer down when I'm gonna delete the curse on humanity. Like, I'm still gonna keep going. I can't not keep going. Snakes are signs that contribute to your growth: crocodile, water, cane, serpent, and earth. That's so cool. Very cool. Yeah, I could just talk about this stuff forever, so I should probably go. Let y'all go to bed, if it's that time for you anyway. All right, well, this has been fun. I will be back Friday, 11 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time, now that we've had our daylight savings again. That annoys me every time. Every time. And I actually normally have a harder time recovering when we gain an hour than when we don't. But this time, because I was already sick and like the last two, I've only been twice this week to drop Boston off at school. I came back home and went to back to bed both days. Yep, still on. I'm literally signing off right now. We went down more rabbit holes on Mayan astrology and Chaldean numerology, or Chaldean. I never know how to pronounce things. I just try my best. Be the snake. You need to wake up at 4, right? Oh, you need to wake up at 4. Oh no. Yeah, 8:22. It's 9:22 here, so we are, we're getting late. Late for me anyway, especially because a couple nights this week or last week, I went to bed at like 7:30 for the night, and then woke up. Well, that one night I didn't go to bed at all, or I tried to, and I'd almost drift off, and then I can't breathe out of my nose, so my both nostrils were plugged, and then that was a horrible night. And then I got anxiety the night after that if it's going to be the same way, and it's just like, yeah, 11:22 here. Brandy needs to go to bed. But yeah, I'll be back Friday, and we're gonna tune into, the Matrix, with the Zodiac, and how completely controlled and locked down and loaded that is, and the fact that, the tarot is just but a reflection of that same thing, meaning it's gonna tell you what the Matrix has planned for you. So is there ever really more than one answer? I would say yes, because we still have that fractal of spirit within us that is flipping the script. It's operating, and the more we can tune in and operate from that place of spirit, the more power we're going to have over our own reality, even more so than you thought you had before. So it's going to be good. We're going to get into that on Friday. No, I don't like to see that. Let's see something better. There we go. That's better. Flipping the script already. So I will see you guys Friday, and let's skip ads one final time, because why not? Oh, you're boring, PD. I have to work on Friday. Oh no. Yeah, we'll be here. We'll feel you in spirit, Pam. That'll be good. Aw, thank you so much as well, Banana Ananas. I love hanging out with you guys, and yeah, I think it'd be cool to have Ola on just to see what she has to say. Let's see if we can get some new nuggets of truth and information that she has to offer. I think that would be so fun. And the cool thing is, Ola is actually located up in Norway, somewhere near the oh gosh, I already forgot the name of the islands. It's a chain of islands. They're just absolutely glorious, just beautiful. Lawfulton Islands. I think that's how you say it. Lufulton, something like that. Yeah, she's up in Norway, and she even does like she doesn't she's hard pressed to call anything a retreat or a whatever because she's much like a lot of us. We're trying not to sound new agey at all. We're trying to not sound all love and lighty and new agey. Come to our retreat and get psychically attacked and entity attacked. No, it's not. Um, but yeah, she's all about the female alchemy, and it's so weird because that's something that I've been just that word alchemy also. Melancholy dreams. I even ran my series name through the word scrambler and the word alchemy right there. I'm like, you can't make this stuff up. So it was always meant to be called this. And that is the only thing that has survived except Nate, this character in now book 5, kind of makes a random appearance in book 1, but we don't know his name in that book. So his name stayed the same. Jackie's name stayed the same. She's my main character in the series. But everything else has changed. The plot, the premise, the theme, everything has changed. Oh yeah, we went in on being able to unscramble names. We talked about mandrakes and nightshades and a whole bunch of stuff about my book. If you missed that part earlier, specifically the I was calling it the prequel because in the timeline of my books, it's the one that happens first. Although in the series story progression, we can't know, or we can know that first, but it's not going to do us any good till around after book 3, that information. So reading order, I'll most likely publish them in the order I want people to read them because that just makes the only sense, right? So I'd be books 1, 2, and 3 of Melancholy Dreams series, and then this kind of almost sounding like a companion novel, but really it's not. It's still very much part of the series, but it's got a different main character than the series. But all this information is needed for subsequent books 4 and 5, and most likely 6. I just don't know how Sheila's story, she's the other kind of protagonist companion novel. She's very much enmeshed in this main series, but I want to know how she's enmeshed in what completely came downloaded to me in okay, it's coming to me. I got it. Okay, wow. Yes, absolutely, Pam. Absolutely. Yeah. In media res. Oh, doesn't that mean like you're starting something like in action? Is that what that means? Yeah. Um Yeah, in the middle of things. Yeah, that's what I thought, like in the middle of action or in action of something. Yeah, because oh my gosh, I got so many like prequels upon prequels that I could keep going down rabbit holes, but I got so many good downloads for what I knew needed to happen, and even just like the way that I named certain characters before or knew certain things had to happen, but I didn't know why. It all broke open and made even better and bigger sense into the main series, and then something like a thought occurred to me again, keyword past lives, for people who were not maybe alive, at least in the current incarnation in the main series, are too young to be alive, that maybe they were alive in a different body in the prequel. Okay, there, I said it. God, you got it out of me, guys. I wasn't going to say it, but I said it. Okay, but I guess it remains to be seen who are these characters that were in Project Cult who were unalived during Project Cult and are now back in action in the reincarnation wheel in the main series. At least a couple. And wow, so many major downloads. And here's the weird thing, me just getting all amped up and excited about the series again. When I was sick on, it was Thursday night because Boston had a band concert. Of course, I had to go. Trugging in there looking all sorts of resting bitch face because I was not having it. And I was like doing the whole back and forth, like trying to, like, what's the word? Like soothe myself. Like, I mean, it was a band concert, so I didn't, I guess, look too out of place. And that's where I was when I texted you, Pam. I was walking into the school for that concert that night. I'm like, yeah, I'm not feeling great, but here we are. But it's weird because my mom called when we were getting in the car. And then it's only like a 3 minute less drive to my house from the school. But I talked to her for like an hour. And as I was telling her all these downloads and breaking open of this code and that code in my story series, I felt so alive and so good in that moment that I'm like, oh my God, mom, do you hear me talking? I can talk. I feel good. So there's something to be said about you just completely unloading in your areas of passion, because it will literally raise you out of that frequency net of doom and gloom that I was under. It took me right out for just, 10-15 minutes. But then the second I got off the phone and, winding down for the evening, getting everybody to bed and just right back in it. So even if you're not finding yourself feeling well, dipping into the things that can lift your spirits a little bit, every little bit helps in that moment. But my mom, I'm like, Mom, I'm like walking in circles in my kitchen talking to my mom, and I'm like, I haven't been able to do this in days. I feel really good right now. I feel like I've overcome something. And then I told her, I'm like, I know the second I stop talking about this, I'm gonna feel bad again. And then I did. Turn of the year. Yeah, I'm so excited for the books, and of course, with Brandy Lynn, she's here. Her and I write together. We try, not so much as last few weeks. We try to write together Mondays and Thursdays, and if not, maybe more days a week. But just her being that kind of accountability for me has been everything. Couldn't do it without you because I'd probably procrastinate. But yeah, with all these big downloads after being sick and just so much of what I'm waiting for after book 3 up until about 2 weeks ago, I'm almost like subconsciously dragging my feet because I'm like, I know partly where this is going, but not fully. And now I have even more pieces of the puzzle. So that's so refreshing for me to be able to get back on the horse when I'm able to be writing again. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And then I know as things go, once I write what I know for that, more information will be unlocked and we'll be able to put it. Yeah. Yeah. We just write on Zoom. We just have a little group. Anybody who's a writer, hey, feel free. We just meet on Zoom. That's it. Just hang out, chat for maybe 5-10 minutes. Then we sprint again. Brandy's got it all figured out. Yeah, Pam is an English teacher or literature. Correct me if I'm wrong. High school. Yeah, Pam's awesome. It's funny because I've never met Pam in person, but my sister has. She's my sister's old neighbor from where my sister used to live. My sister lived out of state. Ah, there you go. English language arts. Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to get back at it. I'm excited to feel well enough to get back at it. Believe me though, Brandy, even though I wasn't writing, I probably wrote close to 10,000 words worth of notes on Project Cult. And then random notes in later parts of the series that kind of pertain to that project that I need to plug in information, like reveal this here, do this there. So, yeah. So I did spend a lot of time thinking about it, dwelling on it, making notes. So technically I wasn't completely taken out of my creative element, but yeah. Oh yeah. Pilgrimage to Montana with Olivia. I love it. Yeah, Pam. We usually write so it's 11, no, not that late. 8:30 a.m. my time. That would be 7:30 a.m. your time on Mondays and Thursdays. That's kind of our most current days that or most done days as of right now. Um, yeah, yeah, you just work a lot. Yeah, well, and it's the same link every time. We just kind of set the time to meet up in that Zoom link. But yeah, cool, cool. Yeah, I think it's so productive. I think it is. I mean, I feel like I've really blown something wide open with, especially Project Cult, because I'm like, I know this is connected, but I didn't know how until this sickness took place. And I mean, wow. No, it makes sense. And this is not just a companion novel that, yeah, if you want to read Lily's story, here it is. This is very integral now, where before it wasn't, but now it is, and it all makes sense. And the way it's all falls together, it's like it was always meant to be that way or was planned to be that way from the beginning, even though it wasn't. Mind blown. But yeah. Oh, it's so weird too. Now that I'm a Virgo ascendant, Mercury ruled, and already Mercury moon ruled by, moon in Gemini, which I still have. It's just now not in ninth house anymore, but 10th house now. Um, and then my Mercury in itself is now moved from the eighth house into the ninth house, still in Taurus. Skip ads. um, it's now even more relevant in my chart or prevalent or everywhere. Where before, yes, I have, the writer's symbol or, oh yeah, this means you need to write this, you're a writer here, you're a writer here. I have now probably double the amount of ways you can point to someone who will be a writer in my chart with the Virgo ascendant than I did with the Libra ascendant. Because Libra ascendant was more about like performing arts, like maybe me reading a script someone else wrote and performing it, which I mean I've done, but not in like a big capacity. I mean, like Villager number 3 or something. Never anything of note as far as acting or any of that. I mean, I like watching that stuff, or it kind of is cool, but that never really fit me as me. So much more like the writing or kind of behind the scenes part of the creativity is more me, and that makes even more sense now as the Virgo ascendant. It's going to be a hard hill to die on. No longer calling myself a Libra ascendant. It just becomes like your identity, Since 2016, that's what I knew myself to be, and now that it's not. But what's weird is I'm like, how many minutes off could my birth time be to make me a Virgo ascendant? Because I was 0.15 degrees, meaning 00, so 0 degrees and 15 minutes of not even 1 degree of Libra ascendant. So I knew it had to be with just a few minutes of being a Virgo ascendant. And one time I even ran my chart as a Virgo ascendant with that different birth time just to see. And it felt, something about it did click, but at the same time, I'm like, but no, this is what I am. I'm over here. This would be cool, but like I'm over here. Not that any of it's cool. I mean, that's my matrix stamp of approval. But also spirits in there. Spirits in there. And funny, the Atmakarka being Venus, that's the only planet that stayed in the same house, but it went back a sign, but it's still in the 6th house of healing or, problems every day. Problems every day. Having my Atmakarka in the house of daily routines and healing, and but also it's the writing, Virgo, Mercury being exalted in Virgo. It's really good for writing if you have that. Stellium and Gemini and sidereal. Oh wow. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So yeah, there's a lot of writer stuff going on for you. Gemini and Virgo, anything like lots of planets in your 3rd house. Also big writer vibes, which is weird because I have Uranus now in my third house, and before I had Neptune, which is a big, like, Neptune in the third house is a big writer planet. Um, I want to say, though, I can't remember. Is it still in the third house? I think it might have shifted. No, I think all my planets shifted except Venus. But I used to have K2 or South Node in the third house, um, which is why I always thought I had trouble, because sometimes you can have trouble with where K2 sits or the South Node sits because allegedly you've conquered that in other lives, so there's no reason to keep going in that direction. I always blamed my non-linear storytelling on K2 in the third house, but K2 is no longer in the third house. It's now solidly in the fourth house. Let's see. Which one's Mercury? Or Neptune? No, I still have Neptune in the third, because it's now 2 degrees and 18 minutes of Sagittarius, where before it was like different. It was different before. It shifted into the third house because it's so close to the cusp of that third house. That's why. I see. And my black moon Lilith is right there with my Neptune. No, my vertex and Chiron, which again, I wasn't so into Western astrology, so I'm still learning what these are. And I mean, these are still they're asteroids that they calculate. This isn't Western astrology, but I know Western astrology does deal in a lot in asteroids. But I'm still learning what these are as far as what that means for your chart. Yeah, Lilith in, for me, Lilith in the third. I've got a pretty big third house. I've got part of fortune is in the third house, which again, I do believe is like where your like good luck is coming to you. Could be wrong on that though, don't quote me. That's what it sounds like intuitively to me. Your part of fortune would be, where you're getting gains of some sort. That's cool to see that in the third house. So part of fortune, Lilith is that like dark feminine, wounded feminine possibly. But again, it's like, it's the hidden. It's the hidden that needs to be revealed. It's the shadow. Well, I'm writing about the shadow that needs to be revealed on this whole Grand Matrix plot. Part of fortune. Hey, maybe I'll make some money at it. Who knows? Skip ads. Go away. Go away. But yeah, directly opposite. Let's see. Yeah, my K2 or South Node is now in the fourth house, though. Wow. Yeah, it's just gonna take some getting used to. Not only everything moved, but some of my houses do kind of remain the same because in this way of calculating, because instead of your third house solidly for me at the time being only Sagittarius, all 30 degrees of the third house are Sagittarius. Now it's about half and half, like partly Scorpio, partly Sagittarius. Because we're not using the whole house system. We're using the equal velo calculation. There you go. Yeah, which is, again, that's the thing a lot of Western astrologers do that I never did. Just regular sidereal. All your North Node is in the 10th and South Node. Oh, that's cool. We got something in common. Very interesting, isn't it? It's so weird though. I mean, that makes so much sense for me just growing up. Like I always felt like I love my family, obviously. Who doesn't? But at the same time, I always felt like I was like somehow adopted. Am I in the wrong family? I just felt like homesick for a place I couldn't put my finger on. Again, going back to that memory that came to me during that fever I had of me just spinning in slow circles, crying to this sad song, Love on the Rocks by Neil Diamond. There's just part of me even back then that was so aware of something external to what I knew in this life. But still, at age almost 42, can't quite put my finger on it. What is it? Where am I from? What's going on here? Okay, I said I was gonna go like 15 times. I probably should do so. I need to get some sleep. We all need some sleep. Oh, Rhiannon, I think that's how you say that, is a Celtic attachment to me. Same, or I thought I knew more and didn't want to share with my right. There's just like this, like even when I'd be hanging out with friends, like if there, especially if it was more than just one or two or three friends, it was a bigger group of friends, I'd always just go kind of like pout by myself. Like I'd always get sad in big groups and just want to go be by myself. And then I'd always end up pouting or feeling very like a buzzkill to everybody else. And I was never like drinking, and that's why like I wasn't that guy. I never drank at all. I mean, the handful of times I've been drunk in my whole life, like that many, somewhere in there, and they were all after the age of 21, just because I just have really had no desire. But I did tune into a past life as that miner in Butte, where I was just a raging alcoholic. So maybe that's why I got it all out of my system in that life. I just don't care to do it now. It was weird though, because going back to early childhood, like my dad would kiss me goodnight, and he's still an alcoholic. Uh, but like he'd give you this gross, like wet, sloppy kiss on the mouth. And I even remember as a very young baby and child, like that's something I don't want. Like that smell to me was very familiar, even as a very young baby. Like we're talking before I had words to put things into words. I have memories from before my sister was born, and she's 22 months younger than me. Just always would be like, oh, go away. Just the smell of like hops and barley, and I'm not a fan. I don't like the way it tastes. So, and of course, anything stronger than that, not a fan of that either. Especially tequila. So gross. Yeah, oh, hubby's the same way. Yeah. Aw. Yeah, that's hard. Yeah. Yeah, my dad's still going strong with the alcohol, as far as I know. I would assume if he quit at any point, he would reach out eventually and be a better dad. But no, still waiting. I'm not going to hold my breath. Might keep me up all night like it did when I couldn't breathe out of my nose. All right, you guys, I'm really going to go this time. I love you guys. This is so much fun. We could just hang out forever, almost 4 hours now. That's so weird because people either really love tequila or really hate it, and I'm on the really hate it side. But I do not begrudge you liking tequila. That's cool. That's okay. More for you, right? Because I will not drink it. All right, you guys, I love you. Thanks again so much. All those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, and all the things, and all the amazing conversation tonight. And I hope to see you right back here on Friday. Again, we're going to kind of dive into how to use tarot more, not so much as just the tool of the matrix as to say how things are going to go, but instead using it to tune into your true spirit and allow your spirit to come through and speak on your behalf, right? That's what we're going to do. All right. Yes. Thank you for your time as well. This was so fun. Always love vibing together. See you guys Friday, and much love. Oh, skip ad. Don't need to do it this time. We're just going to end it. All right, you guys. Bye.